Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please give a warm welcome to the hosts of the SWA Happy Hour, Dom and Chris.
Well, good evening, Mr. Lane. How are you, my friend?
Good evening to you, Dom.
Cheers to you, pal.
Here's to you. What's going on?
Looks like you guys did a little renovating.
I did. Look at my place. Nice, right?
It's pretty swank. Looks like someplace Papa Tom would live now.
Yeah, that's it. Well, he's out of town and he doesn't know.
Yeah, all he cares about it is his doggy.
Yeah, that's right. He's out walking his dog, so I moved into his house, and I'm broadcasting from there.
So what's been going on, man? I haven't talked to you in like 2 weeks.
No, I know. We have been ships passing in the night.
Yes.
Oh, indeed. Well, I had a big magazine project, which I finished a couple days ago, and that was sucking up a lot of my time. And I know you had kids' sports and the like. And let's see, I took my wife to that awards function, which was very cool for her company.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why we weren't on last week, and that was so. I mean, while she's all dressed up and getting awarded and all that good stuff, I got Safeway sushi and I played my 12 string in a park.
Okay.
And yeah, it reminded me that my 12 string is hard to play.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it, right? But 12 strings is a lot harder to press down than 6.
Well, and as a bass player, that used to be no problem. But I played more guitar than bass anymore, and it had brand new strings on it, and that's why I took it out there, because I wanted to get this. So the strings were new and a little stiff.
Right, but I think you're using different muscles in your hand when you're playing the bass.
You really
than when
do.
You're playing. You're not, because you don't really have to do much barring when you're playing the bass, so it's just dexterous in your fingers.
Right. And the other part is the calluses are in slightly different places.
Yeah. Hey, Valerie, how are you?
She called us gentlemen.
Silly lady.
Yeah, do you know us?
Get out.
I've been enjoying Valerie's Wyoming adventures. Went up there.
I have been so out of touch. I did see one of her videos, and it was just like scenery, I guess, on the drive, which was really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. It was like going there myself.
Yeah, bought some cowboy hats up there and released a song about Wyoming. And I put this in her chat.
Yeah, Wyoming, right? That was the video.
Oh, my goodness. What a cool song. I mean, if Wyoming Tourist Board has any brains at all, they'll license that song from her, because it's really a nice homage to the state. It's a great song.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Cool. So I've been following along with Valerie's adventures. My timing is such...
Awesome.
Yeah, because she's in the same time zone as me, and so I tend to be able to catch her a lot more often than like some of the people like Jade right now I really struggle to catch Jade's show because their time change and our time change. It's now a 2-hour shift.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it makes it hard. But I'm catching some other shows that I didn't see before, so that's kind of good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been definitely laying very, very, very low.
Yes.
For the time being. It's been good. It's I realized one night I was like, oh my God, I have nothing to do, because I just didn't feel like playing my guitar. I didn't want to go online. It's like, what do I do? I have to find other stuff to do. So that's what I'm doing.
I've not had that problem. And I got a couple new songs that have popped into my head, and of course I haven't been able to record them because I was working on the thing, but I got some stuff cooking, and actually did a little work on a video for the first time in weeks. Yeah, Pendar had done the basic video for me a couple weeks ago, and it's really good, but I hadn't had any time, so I finished the magazine, and I moved my stuff around in my office a little bit and got out the green screen and did a little bit of video work, which reminded me how much I don't enjoy doing that. But whatever.
What is that? Do you have a fan running?
I do not.
I hear the roar and then it disappears.
I don't know.
Nothing
Maybe-
right now.
Maybe a toilet runner. Who knows? Now I do. It's getting that time of year. I do have fans in my office, and they were turned on, and then I turned them off before the show started because one of them was pointing right at the mic. And
Right.
You would
Hey,
hear
Mark's gas station. How are you?
wind
pal?
tunnel.
I have the exact opposite problem down here is, so the air handler for the central AC is down in the basement, and there must be a pipe loose. It's like a friggin' meat locker down here.
Oh,
It's like, and I think that
I
I've been
would trade you.
definitely been having problems with my guitars though. Like I had to bring my acoustics upstairs.
Oh, really?
I'm talking like 55, 60 degrees down here. Like I'd come down. If I tuned the guitar up and left it out, I would come down a few hours later, and it would almost be like a half a step sharp.
Wow. Yeah.
That's not good.
That's no bueno. But, man, that sounds 55 to 60. That would be delightful.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful for me. I mean, but that's part of the reason why I always have a jacket on, a
Yeah.
shirt on down here. But yeah, it's wreaking havoc.
Yeah, I can see that. But it would be nice. But no, it's summer's here in Colorado. It's warmer. It's been warmer the last couple of days. And got, of course, the thunder showers. And I don't know if you saw in the news, but last week, gigantic hailstorm wiped out a bunch of stuff 2 miles north of me. I missed
Okay.
this one. So, I mean, I'm still paying for last year's hailstorm. So,
Now we had out of nowhere just like freaky ass rainstorm. Hey, Blazin'.
good to see you. Thanks for coming
Yeah,
in.
but we wrapped up. So all the end of year things are wrapping up. So my kids played his final baseball game last week, and like I was telling you, they lost every game, but they won the last game.
See, that's
and
great.
both the kids and the parents, we all went psycho, and it was like, and the other team was like, it's the only game he's won, and we were like, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's the only one we needed to win.
Well, yeah.
So
win that
that was
last
good.
one.
And then tonight I took my kids to. It was the last Boy Scout meeting for the year, so they had like a big picnic in a field, and they ran around like psychos and. Came
Fun.
home, made them take a shower. That was good. Good to see.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, it was like we were walking around. They were waiting for their friend to get there, and my kids were just like circling, like the field around different groups of kids playing. And I was like, finally, it was like, guys, just walk up to a group of kids and say, "My name is. Can we play?" And they would not do it. So I was like. No one wants to play with the weird kids standing by themselves amongst other people.
Just so you know.
Yeah, so finally I just dragged them. This is Jack, this is Danny. Can they play? Let's play Frisbee football. And then they were gone for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah,
good, yeah.
gotta learn. Hey, gotta say hi to my neighbor just down the street, old Wolf's Den.
What's up, Wolfden? How you doing?
Rick, good to see you. Haven't forgotten about you. I've been just slammed with work stuff, but I'll send you an email this next week and we'll figure out when we can get together. Wolf's Den, for those of you who don't know, go check out his channel. Amazing singer, amazing voice, country. He's just fantastic. And I'm going to get with him a little bit and maybe help him with some putting music on, because he's written these songs and he just does them a cappella. It's like, damn,
okay.
They're really good, but he just, maybe I can do a little backing tracks for him. So that's what we're going to talk about and see if it works. But yeah,
Nice.
yeah, super. He's been on GMA a couple weeks in a row now and bringing it. So that's how I got to meet him. So that's all
Cool
good.
beans.
And yeah, I've been, in between, like when I was waiting for pages to rip and everything, I'd grab my guitar and play for 2 minutes or 3 minutes and then put it down and go on to the next page. But it got got some stuff cooking, and it's
good.
been, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to
I
getting
have
back.
done absolutely nothing. I haven't had the slightest desire.
Well, here's how weird it's been. I've talked to Naya much more than I've talked to you in the last 2 weeks
yeah.
because I'm doing some drum programming for her.
Okay.
And so we've been going back and forth, and so I've been chatting with her a lot, and it's like,
Well, that is the one good thing when you're working with someone on a song is you
Yeah.
talk together a lot more.
well, yeah, exactly. Well, that's how I'll drag you out of your funk if I need to. It's like,
Well,
I've
know
got-
what?
I've got songs.
Yeah, I'm going to wait. Part of this is I need to reset myself,
Yeah,
and it's always about trying to deal with the limited amount of time I can do things, and what do I really want to do with that time, and then kind of. So that's what I'm like. I have to think about this time.
yeah.
What do I need to drop from my extracurricular activities?
Absolutely.
So that, but
that's
eventually, when I want to, I will.
Yeah, well, again, that's wisdom, is knowing that, I can't do everything, so let's prioritize.
Yeah, and then the other, and I've just been way too busy personally to really have any free time of late. Or free time that I didn't want to just. I've done a lot of laying on the couch with my wife.
Ah, well, that's good. Well, we're spending, I'm spending more quality time because Kay and I are gardening together at night.
Yeah.
We're deadheading flowers and watering and picking vegetables and sitting in our Adirondack chairs when we're done and just looking out over the garden.
Hey, Camellia. Nice.
There she
Well,
is. Good
I
eye.
finally made it up to Pennsylvania last week and opened up the house there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that was good. Hey, Allie, how are you?
Good to see Allie. Allie knows things. If you've been in the chat, you pay attention. Allie knows a lot of things. Yeah, she's
Great many things.
yeah. I mean, we were on pole vaults chat. She knew about wood glues, and yeah, it was Allie. If you got questions, ask Allie because Allie knows things.
Ooh, new segment. Ask Allie.
Ask Allie. That could happen. Yep. Yeah, segments. Speaking of, I'm going to be playing on Lori's show tomorrow. She
good.
does that thing with before Hub's show. And
Right.
I've been joining when I can. And it's a kick in the pants. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night is going to be off the chain because in preparation for Metal Fest and everything, we're doing hair metal
Okay.
on Lori's show. And there'll be a new character that will get introduced on the show.
All right.
And Lori is like, it's not going to be Juan, is it? Which makes me laugh because, okay, for a show that nobody allegedly ever watched,
Everybody knows
and
Juan.
for a segment, yeah, that ran for 6 minutes, man, everybody knows Juan. So, but this is nothing like Juan. But it's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. I actually prepped. I mean, that's
Really?
how. Yeah, no, I mean, I did things. I went and bought a couple props. I'm taking this shit
Last
seriously.
prop you bought was for Dark Age, your blow-up sword.
Yeah, now that's not a blow-up sword. It's not a real sword, but it's not a blow-up sword. But yeah, you're right, and same thing. I went in that store again looking for a couple of props, and I'm such a schmuck because I always go there in the middle, when Halloween is so far away, and they got nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. And of course, there's just not enough time. You could get anything on Amazon, but there wasn't enough time once we decided to do the show. There wasn't enough time to order it and get it in, so I had to be creative. But I think I got creative, and I think it's gonna be fun.
For a while I had a good system with like my little props and stuff when I did videos where I would like buy something from Amazon, receive it like on Friday night, use it Saturday and Sunday, and I'd return it on Monday.
Couple of these things I bought, I'm going to do the Dom Toro Grossa thing because I spent $39 in one store for something that's so small, I don't know that people are going to even notice it on the video. So I'm taking that back and getting my money after Friday's show's over. But, Hey, there he is. Good to see you, Mike. You Rhodey's Jam Cave.
Rote.
Yep. Well, that'll be Friday night, and then Hubs, and he's doing a warm up from the parking lot before Metal Fest, and then he'll go back to the parking lot for Metal Fest. So
Cool.
he's going to be a frequent flyer there. Campus security is going to know him well.
Yeah, I had to write to Gary and tell him that I had to back out of Metal Fest.
It's bitter. But here's what I'm going to do. I put the work in. I practice these songs. I'm going to do a live stream at some point in the next 2 weeks, and I'm just going to come on, and I'm going to do my 20-minute set. Or
Good.
I may add a song. It may end up being a 25-minute set, and just do what I was going to do on Metal Fest.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I had lofty goals, but no time to execute. And then we're going. We're having our birthday party for Danny on Saturday, and then we're going up to Pennsylvania. So
All right.
that is the summer.
Very good. E. Urban.
What's going on, Even?
Good to see Urban. He was breaking me up the other day. He was on Valerie's stream, and this was the Sunday one she does in the morning. And E. Urban was
Yes.
it's pretty funny.
Miss Allie. No, that's not it. Yeah. Chris and I, we try to direct people to one chat or another week to week. So tonight, we're trying to get everyone to hang out in Chris's chat, so everyone can see what everyone types.
Yeah, if you're in Dom's chat right now, the link to come over to my chat is pinned to the top, and you can easily move your way right on over. And we do that so everybody can see, just because we don't always highlight every comment. So we don't want people to miss out, because the chat is at least as entertaining as we are, and many times a hell of a lot more
Generally
entertaining.
more. Yeah, generally.
Yeah. And there's Camila helping us out with the Camp Gmail link. So, yep. If you're in the Chris chat, you're in the right place. If you're in the Dom chat,
Wrong place.
wrong place.
Wrong place.
And then next week, it'll flip.
If I'm here.
That's how we work. Well, yeah, that's now, as we announced 2 weeks ago, Dom is going to be a little more off and on this summer because of all his kid activities and other stuff going on and work and such. So Dom will be here every week that he can. But I've got a couple people that have volunteered to guest host in Don's absence. So when he's not going to be here, there'll be somebody riding shotgun with me. And
Did you just call me Don?
no, not on purpose. Maybe I didn't enunciate.
Possibly.
Dom.
I'm
Yeah.
Italian. I never enunciate. Every sentence just sounds like one big
No, but
one big word.
Yeah. So that's what's going on. That's the show. Well, so I'm prepping for. Well, I'll start with tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Friday. Saturday, we're going out to the farm out in Yuma, Colorado, and we'll be getting together with some family, extended family. Some of our Hispanic friends out there, and where the Juan character is based on some of their speech things. So we're going to be having fun.
I told Chris.
Did you just call me Clip?
I do believe I did, sir. I told Chris to get some clips of him speaking as Juan the janitor to some of his
we'll see how
Hispanic family.
Yeah, we'll see how liquored up everybody is, and and I mean, they laugh. I mean, they'll be down for it, but I'll probably forget. But I'm still not drinking whiskey.
Oh, you're still on your
Still have been
on your detox.
But I'm cheating a little bit in that I'll be drinking tequila with them.
I'm cheating a little bit. I am drinking rubbing alcohol now.
Yeah, Listerine by the gallon, but no, it was just. But yeah, it's one of the kids' birthday parties out there, and it's going to be a good time. So yeah, I will probably have a little tequila with
That's got a good ring. That's the Don and Clip show.
Why not? Yeah, there you go.
We can wear name tags.
Yeah, we may have to. As we kind of come and go, and it's like, who the hell are you again? It's like, it's my channel. All right. Here, honestly, those things have got so much preservatives in it.
I know.
If you open it up and it doesn't smell bad, you could eat it and you'd be fine. And
Yeah, and if the can doesn't look funky,
yeah, if it's not bowed out or something. Yeah, I mean, those prep hoards actually were built to last, so something looked different. Yeah, I don't know what looks different. What, my nose not as red, or I mean, because that can't be it. Because I never drink on this show, and I didn't previously, so that hasn't changed. Your perception of me changed. Now you think I'm clean and sober. I'm still a schmuck. It doesn't make any difference.
that is true. I can attest to his schmuckiness.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. But it's good to see Maria. And I'll go ahead and spill the beans, a little surprise. We haven't talked to our good friend Michael Songs in a long time.
We tried several times.
And it just didn't work out. But we've invited him to join us on the show tonight, and he will be joining us a little later. And the three of us it'll be like old times. It'll be like when we were filling in.
We had plans to meet one night, just on a private chat, just to touch base. So we didn't get to do it. So I told Chris, I'm like, I have an idea, a new segment called Catching Up with Friends. And I was like, hey, Michael, remember when we were going to meet? Let's just catch up live. So he's going to come on and we're going to figure out what's going on. So he's going to be here later. I think he's playing a show this evening, though.
Yeah,
Got invited to play a set.
Yeah, so that's very cool. So he'll be jazzed from that, I hope.
Hey, Jerry Gomes, how are you, pal?
All right, people coming in. Mike
Cool
Reese.
video with you, Hugh, and Colorful Energy.
Super cool. Yeah, that was very good. Man, he does good stuff. Oh, like Jerry. And our friend Pendar.
What's going on, Pendar?
Who will be one of the people that will be co-hosting in Don's absence. So good to see Pendar. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on?
Inside joke. All right. And here, I got to share this. So my birthday's, I'm going out to Yuma, and then June 22nd, I'm having my birthday bash here, going to smoke brisket, do all the barbecue stuff, and that's the day that I'm going to resume drinking whiskey.
Okay.
And I ordered myself Irish Puchin.
Yeah, you were saying.
Which is Irish moonshine. Well, here's like the Chinese guitar story. So I order this stuff. Reputable company, all that, and it's going on, but it's starting to get like a week since I ordered it. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Well, I get an email from them, and they say, hey, your order is taking longer to ship. Apologize, but we'll let you know as soon as it ships. Well, okay. Very next day, get an email from them. It's shipped. It's in FedEx. It's going to be delivered Saturday. And it's like, okay, don't screw up my birthday. So this was last Saturday. So going along, and usually FedEx delivers in the afternoon here, but Kay and I are working in the yard, so we're watching for the FedEx, and we're in the backyard, and we see the FedEx on the street behind us, because our house is a little higher than the neighboring, the rest of the neighborhood. So, like, I chuck out to the front, and I'm sitting out there, like waiting for the ice cream truck, and it didn't come by. So I wait, and so I water the front grass, still doesn't come. And so then I pull some weeds, still doesn't come. It's like, well, what the fuck? So I go back, we're working in the back, and, but I keep listening for the truck and all this kind of stuff. Nothing. And then Kay goes out front to do something and comes back with a note. Hey, we tried to deliver and nobody was home. It's like, you mother...
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
I was so angry. So the rest of the story is, I'm like, well, are you fucking kidding me? Well, I get a note from FedEx like, hey, we tried to deliver. We're going to deliver tomorrow. I'm like, really? On a Sunday? So, okay, whatever. But, I'm not holding out any hope. So we're working. We happen to be working out there. Kay was out front, and the truck drives up. And so she comes in the house and goes, "Hey, FedEx guy is here." So I go out and sign and get my booze. And so I'll be drinking poutine for my birthday.
Oh, that's very nice.
So
Last week, I think it was. Chris, you may be too old. Not too old. It may have not been a thing when you were age, but when I was growing up, when you were a little kid, the douchebag kids had big wheels like I did, and the cool kids had green machines. Do you remember those things?
I remember the name.
Wheel,
yeah,
but it had hand levers, and you can drift and spin out with them.
Yeah, it did some other crap.
I was
right?
looking on Amazon, and I was like, "Ooh, they remade the green machine."
Oh,
kind of
really?
thing. Yeah. So I bought I bought one for each of my kids, right?
Okay.
And one gets delivered on Saturday. The next one's supposed to come on Sunday. And the UPS dropped off the first one. The second one was coming from the post office. Same thing. Get a note on the door. Attempted delivery. And then the next day, they for whatever reasons, they sent it back. It was could have been damaged, and I was like, oh, they are so damn unreliable, because you almost know, you almost know when you're gonna get screwed over, because you can almost track the package to the point, no, this, you can circle it, this is gonna become a problem. And it's if they can't, they just attempted delivery, and they don't care. If I was I guarantee it was an older delivery driver, and he didn't want to lift the package,
Yeah.
So
he went to the back of the truck and went, "Yeah, fuck this."
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. I think they could do that, and they just attempted delivery, because they don't actually load the stuff on the truck, and they don't offload it. Only if they deliver it do they have to do that.
Right. No, we know the drill. Well, my Christmas whiskey that my kid got me, I never.
Oh, you
got
like
it.
that, Urban? This was. I bought this when I was in Say No to Pot. I thought of Art of Floundering when I saw the shirt.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Drops Family Garden, what's going on, man?
You don't drop.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Anyway, green machines are really cool. So I put one of them together, and then I had to go buy another one, because now both kids want one. You said you were getting us both one. Pain in the asses.
See how they are.
I
Yeah,
think that's supposed to be here on Saturday.
yeah, but when you have two boys, that's what you do. They both get the same crap, or even your kids' age difference is only what, 3 years?
No, a year and 10 months.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's about me and my brother. So yeah, that's not very much. So
Yeah, so they're pretty much best pals,
That's
mortal
good.
enemies.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how that works. Yeah, no, my
Oh yeah, Pender. I mean, that shit happens a lot. Totally happens a lot.
we deliver each other's mail here in the neighborhood because most of us have lived here a long time. We know each other, and we've got the mail boxes. So the guy goes, and it's a big box, and everybody on the block is in the same thing. They never get it in the right slot, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah. Oh, you know what drives me crazy too now? You order food from Uber, or whatever, Uber or Grubhub.
Yeah.
And everything in the world now goes by GPS.
Yes.
How do they end up at the wrong goddamn house?
Because GPS sucks.
No, I think people suck. They told me one day, "Oh, well, go check, maybe he got delivered to your neighbor." I'm like, I am not going to my neighbor's house and say, "Excuse me, did you get sent my Chinese food?" That's on you. I am not going over there.
No, but I'll tell you that Google sucks, Apple Maps suck. Here's my story from last week. So we buy Bjorn's Honey, which is a local place. It's done in Boulder. and they go to
What
food
was her
fairs.
name?
Bjorn, yeah.
What was Bjorn Honey's name?
Yeah. But they've got a big shop in Steamboat Springs, so we always buy there when we go there on our anniversary. Well, we're liking it so much we ran out. And I knew that they had two stores in Denver. So one's clear up in Golden. I didn't want to drive up there. One is in a place that's kind of on the way to my mother's house. So I was like, hey, we're going to pick up my mom to do a thing. We're going to go a little early. We're going to go to this mall. We'll get the Bjorn's Honey. Life is good. So we get in the mall. We're driving around. Don't see the place. So I get it up on Google's Maps, and it takes us directly to the Chick-fil-A. I'm like, what the actual F? It's like, oh yeah, Apple Maps sucks sometimes. So I Google mapped it. It took us to a different part of the parking lot, which still wasn't Bjorn's Honey. And I'm going, what the hell? And Kay's looking, and she goes, there it is right there. It was a good 500 feet from where it said it was. And we finally found it and everything. But yeah, you got to be careful with those Google things. They will drive you off a cliff occasionally, as people have found out the hard way.
Oh, that's like one of the best episodes of The Office, when he drives into the lake because the GPS told him to take a right.
Oh yeah, no, you can't totally trust those bad boys. So yeah. Huh, well, that's cool.
1889. Wow,
That's historic.
it's like Lincoln could have stayed there or something.
Yeah, that's almost as old as the dog paw.
Wah, wah, wah. I guess we have a new house. It was built in the 50s.
Yeah, mid-century modern. Those are cool. There's a couple neighborhoods here in Denver that they're all mid-century modern houses. They're cool as hell. I'd love to pick one up and kind of do something with it, but
I don't call it mid. Ours
Yours
is
may not be.
split level.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Well, there was a
it's
certain
split
style that, yeah, when mid-century moderns are a very specific kind of house built in the 50s. And 60s, too.
But wasn't the name called? Wasn't it given the name later?
Yeah, exactly, because it kind of described the architectural style and some of the appointments. So, yeah, it came a long way. Nobody called it that while they were doing it. That's
My
just what
house
they were
is
doing.
like stacked cubes.
Yeah.
There's 4 cubes and kind of set in different places.
There you go.
Mine is on
History.
Marquise de Lafayette. Cool.
Ah.
Old Marquise de Lafayette. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
a wild son of a bitch.
Well, but not nearly as wild as the Marquise de Sade. He was
yeah.
even wilder.
Yeah. As far as Marquise go, yeah.
Yeah, on the scale of Marquise.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
de Sade, Yeah, indeed. Hey, there's Feisty Feather. How are you?
Feisty.
Feisty was having. I'll squeal on her. I had another chat going on earlier in preparations for Lori's show, and Feisty burned Al's pizza. She felt really bad about it and had to make him a new pizza because she got doing something else. And
Really?
yeah,
Like that. I mean, if my wife has burned pizza before, and I just, don't worry about it, hon.
well, apparently you could pound
must have
nails
been
with
really
it. It
bad.
was like 8
Okay.
minutes over, she said. So that's not pizza. That is in fact a hammer accessory. So yeah.
Yeah. Yes. We are officially the Clip and Don show.
Okay, good. Yeah, good to know. We
New
had a name.
graphics on the way.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, the Marquis scale. Why not? He chose the unburned one. Well, shocker. I can see that. Well, like I've said on the show when we were doing more of the cooking segments, you get to be a good cook by eating your mistakes. So choke down that pizza, Feisty, and you'll pay more attention to the timer next time.
Who's it be?
Oh! Well, that explains it. Oh, my God. Is 911 and the cops on standby?
Well, you're selling them all pot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just put your address in the chat for the police, would you? 10 teenage girls. Good Lord.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
we will pray for you. My goodness, yeah.
And you even made that son of a bitch dinner? If I have like one friend coming over for Dad's gonna make a sandwich that night because my wife ain't cooking.
No, Drops Family Garden.
Oh no.
That's not good. So, were they filet mignons and you had to throw them out? Because, cut the burn part off and put them in a salad or something. My goodness. That's not good.
We have we're taking out 6 other 9 to 10-year-olds on Saturday, so
That'll be fun.
yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, if you can't sleep with the grill running, that's man 101. Although
That is, yeah.
Kay's not watching, so I'll squeal on myself. So we get done gardening, and I'm gonna make her dinner and everything. And I said I'm gonna sit in the chair for a minute and watch for the hummingbirds. Well, I've been going like hell. I fell asleep on the back deck, and I startled myself awake. It's like, oh shit, I gotta make dinner. So I'm in there, and Kay's upstairs, and she pokes her head out and goes, "Hey, how's dinner coming? How long till dinner?" And I'm like, 10 minutes. I just started. I'm like, oh, fuck. So, yeah, I fell asleep. 18.
Okay, that's still
And
not too bad.
Had it taken 23, it would have been a lot better. But you do what you can. Hey, there he is, David.
Hey,
Live
David,
Fly
how are you,
Channel.
pal?
Good to see you, man. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, man, we love our little hummingbird friends.
I don't like birds. I'm not a bird guy.
I like a lot of birds. Well, my wife is a great cook, but she did it when the boys were young, and so we traded. She's now a high-powered corporate executive, and I'm a stay-at-home schmuck, who plays with trains on magazines for a living. So.
Chris is the trophy husband.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I do. Her last company, they brought the significant others, and we were introduced ourselves, and I just stood up in front of everybody and said, "Hi, I'm Kay's boy toy." She was both horrified and kind of smirky laughed at the same time.
Come on, you got lucky that night, right?
Oh, yeah. Not dumb. Yeah.
Told you to put on your pool boy outfit.
I put on my cabana boy, and yeah, that's exactly what happened. Oh, can I? I was going to do the Juan voice. Almost did it.
Yeah, like we don't. It's very hard. We don't. Family dinner's tough, man.
Yeah. Well, you're at that age where
nobody eats the same fucking thing, and it's,
yeah.
And at the end of the year, she's busy, I'm busy, we're busy.
It's
so
tough.
It's pretty much feast or famine. Just figure
Yeah.
out what the hell you're gonna do. Like the weekends, we eat together and stuff.
Yeah. Well, when
But we
kids
are almost
sports-
always, at this point in our life, my wife and I are almost always in completely different places. Just to keep the train running.
Yes. No, I totally get
We
it.
spend
Did it?
like maybe an hour together at night.
Yeah. I totally get it. We did that for years too, and it just
Well, that was one of the things I was thinking about because I was like running ragged, and then trying to keep up with all this YouTube. And I was like, I had to tell myself, I'm around the same age as a lot of these people. However,
Yeah.
most of them have kids going off to college or doing in jobs. I'm like, I have little friggin' kids. I can't keep up with that, So
Yeah. Absolutely.
I have to. You forget about those kind of things sometimes, It feels like I have to do this. I have to be here, and I'm like, oh, I can't, man. I just can't. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Cordial. I built a lot of that room myself. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, he did. It looked like a friggin' bar last time with these low hanging.
Well, yeah, that's my
pipes,
that's my bar room. But yeah, I moved up into the kitchen area. I just thought little lighter, little airier. Just got better lighting in here.
And as someone pointed out last week, I actually had this shirt
Yeah.
handcrafted to match my backdrop.
Yep. Very true. Hey, there's
If I cover it
Steve-O.
up, I can probably almost disappear.
Yeah. Oh, where'd Dom go? Oh, well, see, you were moving, though. That's how men spot
okay,
things. You
yeah.
moved. If you'd stayed still,
Yeah.
I can move so slowly. So there he is. Yep. Good to see you, Dog Paw. We were talking about your house
We were
earlier.
making fun of you before. Well, Chris was.
I was.
What was it? Something about 1889?
Yeah, it was a
some
house.
kind of house.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
said almost as old as Dog Paw.
So, Chris, who is our featured artist this evening?
Tonight, we have the unbelievably talented Scars and Shadows. And this is, you guys know, somebody who burst onto the scene, and we were like, holy crap, where did she
Hey, Jeff.
come from? Jeff knows, because Jeff plays a lot of Scars and Shadows. So we were totally impressed with her, and now she's been a little quieter here of late. Her father had taken ill, and she was doing her best to take care of him and everything, and unfortunately he passed away here recently, so she's been not as visible, although I did see her on Jeff's show last Sunday. So she's back a little bit, but she's got some new music, and so we'll feature a little bit of Scars and Shadows tonight. And I don't know if she's going to be in the chat, maybe not. But you don't have to be in the chat to get played. But you know, that's kind of how people who do
whatever
show up
we
in the
feel.
chat, we
We
sometimes
almost
pick.
prefer. We almost prefer if you're not here.
Anyway, yep.
Hey, Jeff, I saw you were playing the first Call of Duty. I know it's old, right? But
Yeah.
isn't that just such a great game? Because they go through the whole beach landing introduction to the game is like
Yeah.
really, really cool.
Yeah,
And
that was
one of
cool.
my favorite things about the original Call of Duty was that all they don't there was no translations. All the German soldiers spoke in German, so you can hear it in the distance and stuff, but
Yeah.
you don't know exactly what they're saying.
Yes, unless you
one of my
sprechen Sie
favorite
Deutsch.
one of my favorite games. when
That
I
was cool.
early.
I gotta say, I watched Jeff play. I think it was Farpoint.
Far
and-
Cry.
Far Cry.
Watching
And I
him
was
eject
watching for a
from his
couple. Yeah, watched him accidentally throw himself out of an airplane. But watching other people play video games, it seems dumb, but I was thoroughly entertained. And I was into it. It's like, oh, don't go that way. There's a guy hiding there, and no, it was kind of fun. So yeah, Jeff does that. He has live streams that he games, and he plays with his kids sometimes, and so that's cool. And I do tune in every once in a while. But yeah, Metalhead will be the host of the Metal Fest along with G
that's
May
gonna
on
be cool.
Saturday. I think it's going to be very cool. And again, you can't have Metal Fest without Metalhead Hippie.
No.
I mean, he's the OG of the metal community. He knows, and he knows everybody. So looking forward to that. I'm going to try and catch it out. I don't know. Just
Yeah, I should be able to tune in at points and hang out a bit. Why don't we play a Scars and Shadows song and then bring up
then we've
our-
got our special guest.
our special guest?
Okay, that sounds good. This
Sounds good.
is brand new from Scars and Shadows. She just released this, and this, like a lot of her stuff, this is a little. I've previewed a little bit of it, so this is a song she just, I think, 2 days ago or 2 weeks ago. It's very recent, but it's a song called. They called him Charlie.
Don't invoke me. Do it. Get it done. How do we do it? I don't know. I don't want to be involved in it. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine.
She was 15 years old, stranded on a highway, flat tire broken down and unknown. His misfit eyes, they fell upon her. She crossed his path, he stalked her wrong. Charlie, they called him Charlie. body, gags and bounds her hands and feet. Times of the essence, craziest madman they've ever seen. Sipping on his whiskey, he buried his body 6 feet deep. 6 feet deep. Charlie, they called him Charlie. Charlie, they called him Charlie. Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. Even the angels too scared to sing. Even the angels are too scared to sing. Charlie, Charlie, they called him Charlie. Charlie, 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 they called him Charlie. Charlie, Charlie, they called him Charlie.
You know, a long time ago, being crazy meant something. Nowadays, everybody's crazy. So, I mean, it's synonymous. I mean, it's an irony, man. It's a pair of ducks. I mean, are you crazy? Dressed in black? You think I don't know everything that goes with that black you're dressed in? Yeah.
Wow, that was a trip.
Hells yeah.
New from her, and that was pretty cool. She just has fascinating. I mean, that little departure for her, dark and atmospheric, like a lot of her stuff, but that was that got you thinking a little bit. So very cool. So, and we'll be playing a little bit more Scars and Shadows as the evening goes on. But
one of the things I always like about her music, and like we've talked about before, is she tends to be on the dark side of things, which I like,
Yeah.
And a couple days ago, my kids just had their spring concert for school, and I was like to my oldest kid, what songs you singing? He was like, oh, there's one song I really like and the other one I hate. And he really liked the song Unwritten. I forget who it's by. It's a pretty cool tune, though. And then the other song was a Bruno Mars song. And he was like, oh, I hate that song. I'm like, why do you hate this song? And he's like, it's just so happy. I was like...
That's your boy, huh?
Yeah, my wife was just like, oh, my God. The kid is doomed.
Yeah. What are you going to say? Well,
I was like, I hear you, man. I totally hear you.
Well, let's bring on, you guys know him. I know you love him because you guys hang out on his shows every other Wednesday and every Sunday. And I come on a lot of Sundays anymore. So you notice I've been a lot better about getting out of bed and coming to your show on Sunday. But everybody, Michael Songs.
Hey, Michael. What's going on, brother?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
And Michael's Peanut Gallery, the Maria, who has the best laugh ever. When I make Maria laugh, I feel like mission
It's a
accomplished.
body laugh.
Yeah, it's a body laugh. I like it.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. But all right, now we're done with you, Maria.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go. Yeah.
Until later.
Go plan Michael's next big move.
I'm on it.
Got things in the works.
No doubt. How have you been, my friend?
Yeah.
Good. Busy. Yeah, we've done some sort of live performance every day this past week, whether it be a live stream, an open mic, or I just got back from doing a showcase set. There's a place nearby that does an open mic, but they do a featured artist, and at the end of the night, that featured artist gets to do a full set. So that's what I just did tonight.
Did they
Cool.
steal that from us?
Yeah, right. I was like, you're supposed to do this at the beginning of the show.
The beginning,
You
yeah.
wanna
Oh, that's
bring all the
cool.
people in. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Well, very nice. Good for you. Yeah. And just because of everything going on, we just haven't hung out that much. We haven't chatted, so we thought high time to catch up with our buddy Michael.
Yeah, we tried. We all have tried several times and just been
couldn't make
too
the
difficult.
connection.
So today I was like, how about we invite Michael? So that way we can at least. And then I was thinking that we have to, now that it's the summertime too, we have to. Hey Naya, could you get up at like 2:00 in the morning and hang out with us one night? Because now in the summer she can. But enough about her.
Yeah.
So the back.
How you feeling?
Not great.
Yeah.
Did they
I'm not
have
supposed
they?
to talk about it too much, is what I've been told
Oh, okay.
on the old internet. But
Understand.
yeah, not good times.
Okay.
He's suing
But,
someone.
As he should. He should.
Luckily, the best thing that came out of all of it is that for some reason, out of all the ways to be injured, it hurts to sit down, it hurts to lay down. I can stand. I'm totally
Yeah.
comfortable standing.
So
all
bizarre.
The positions I can't move my arm in, I can do this. So, you know,
Okay. Well,
I'm thankful for that part. Because
Yeah, no,
if
that's
I
good.
couldn't, yeah, I can't really work, but I can play music. If I lost both at the same time,
oh, that would be
I don't-
miserable. Well,
I don't
'cause,
know.
yeah,
that would-
we're born to do what we do, and for all of us, playing music is huge, and working. I mean, we're born to work, so yeah, and I feel you. Well,
I'm a toiler.
I hope it gets. I hope physically it gets resolved, and you're on the road to a better
Yeah,
feeling.
I mean,
and,
maybe you can't talk about all that, but do they have anything like? Is there any exit strategy to make it better?
I just finally started PT, because all the fun with insurance is delayed, all that stuff. So
right.
I got some of that stuff going on. But they told me from the beginning what it's looking at is like 8 to 10 months that I'm going to feel pretty crappy.
Okay.
Wow.
And then it's all just kind of hoping.
Was it a
progress.
torn? So what exactly? After the MRI, what did they actually say was wrong?
Yeah. After the
He's got an armadillo in his arm.
Yeah, they, like 4 different MRIs, and then they said, "Congratulations, you're a musician." That's really all they gave me.
Okay. Wow. Thank you for
Thank you.
Yeah.
helping me with that. Yeah. Well,
Somebody
my
recommended
wife.
me to get a job as a cashier. They're like, cut your hair and get a job as a cashier. I was like, no.
Yeah, I did have to get rid of a psychologist that I was sent to because that's what he told me.
Helpful.
He said, "Cut your hair and become." First off, why would you need to cut your hair to?
Tell me
become
the
a
guy was
cashier?
bald and jealous, huh?
Yeah.
Jerk.
So it's just like I'm gonna go to somebody a little that makes a little more sense, and it's
Yeah, who's not an idiot. Yeah, okay, good
Yeah.
call.
Livid. It was
right.
livid.
Yeah.
He sounds like a '70s dad. Just sounds like
Yeah.
something my father would have told me.
He was
Cut
an
your hair and become a
interesting
cashier."
guy. He was cool. He was nice and all that, and he was giving me some pointers and stuff. But when we were talking about that, he was just like, just think of any job that doesn't involve physical stuff, and you're gonna need to cut your hair and shave your beard. And I was like, well, what?
Yeah, that's like.
I thought you were supposed to be helping me feel better about.
Yeah, just change everything about yourself and yeah.
Next, he's gonna tell me to take the tie off. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Get some T-shirts, Metallica or something. What
Pair
an
of
idiot.
jeans. How about some good sneakers?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you couldn't become a real doctor, eh? All right, thank you.
He comes back. His next stream is Michael Douchebag. Just average Michael. Wow, that's a crazy. I love to see some of like his other patients and who they've killed.
Yeah. Ooh, Dom, let me just stop. I'm going to pull the show over. Dom set himself up and bam, delivered the line. That was outstanding.
Oh,
well
thank you very
done.
much, sir. Thank you. That's why I take a break now and then.
Feverishly writing material.
Right. That's really why he invited me up, because he's
Yeah.
like, I've had this joke for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. This was, folks, it was worked out like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
My whole leaving was all based on that one line.
Yeah. So thanks for
Totally
coming.
worth it.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm sorry you're not feeling a little bit better, but hopefully the PT does help.
Enjoy your chicken there, David. Yeah, man, that sucks. Sucks.
Yeah.
You know what sucks is how fucking fast life can change. And it's like, I am not prepared for it to change at all.
Yeah, exactly.
That's,
Yeah. Yeah, see, everybody in the chat is totally on board with this guy's a quack and an idiot.
I'm just gonna copy and paste this and
Just copy the chat, send it to
I
him.
mean,
and go.
it was like, it kind of sounded like he didn't really like you very much. It was like, you're supposed to kind of be impartial, aren't you?
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I think you're supposed to do something like, "What do you think your next step should be?"
Yeah. I get a new doctor. I'm going to start there.
Yeah.
That's going to be. Hey, Pendar. Now, see, Pendar's from my school, the old
you
football
know what you
coach.
should just
Rub
do,
dirt on
Michael?
it.
You should just start going into like restaurants or supermarkets and taking pictures of people. You know, like, here's an attorney with a ponytail, motherfucker. You know, the guy who operated on my back has a fucking goatee. Yo, fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's billionaire Elon Musk with long hair.
You, sir, have a goatee. I mean, you're a psychologist. I mean, of course you do.
Yeah. Channeling Freud Munch there. You
Right,
penis envying bastard.
I know.
Okay,
Thanks,
well.
Tom. I'm feeling a lot better after this session.
Yeah, exactly.
Glad
We're-
I
you
hired
should hang
you
out with
guys
us.
for
We're
this.
much better psychologists than this clown. We'll have you feeling great about yourself. You won't have a job still, but you'll feel good about it.
Couple more beers, I'll just turn into my dad. Like, what the hell are you depressed about? Just that'd be my dad.
Yeah. Well, indeed.
So how have you guys been? I mean, I hear a bit because I tune into the happy hour, so I know some of the things. But how have you guys been?
Right.
Just, living the dream. It's summer and I'm frolicking in the garden and that's good. And I just finished a big job. That's good. So I get paid. I mean, I like you. If I don't work, I don't get paid. So I gotta send stuff to the printer so I get a check. So I got a check coming. I'm pretty happy about that. But just working away at stuff. Not spending nearly enough time recording as I would like, because I've got some good ideas and I've done some tinkering, but not just sitting down. I'm spending too much time watching other people's shows and having a great time. It's like, you got to turn them off every once in a while and focus on your own, because I like Fridays, I look forward to Hippie's show. It's so much. And I love that. And then this Friday he had to work, so the show wasn't on. I was all jacked up for it, and it's like, oh, no show, wah, wah, wah. But I wasn't in the right frame of mind to record, and I really needed to work on this job anyway. So I buckled down and did my real job, and then I effed off on Lori's show for an hour or 2 hours. That was my little mental break. So, and I've just been stopping in on Lori's show every once in a while, which is tomorrow night, which is fun before Hub's show, and that's what I've been up to, and just getting ready for summer. My big barbecue birthday party bash that I always throw, and then we're going up to my pop's place in July, over the 4th, up
Being
in Montana.
reunited with whiskey.
Being reunited.
It's
and
gonna
it
it's gonna be like you
feels
gotta
so
make one of those love
good.
videos about.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not a porn, Chris. You know, just like some romance.
Yeah.
Schlocky thing.
Yeah.
Me, I've actually a few nights of the past couple of weeks, I went to bed at like 10:30 and got 8 hours of sleep. And I
What?
woke
God,
up and I
it's
was
so
like,
nice when that happens.
wow, is this really what this is like? I can process. I got up, I made my kids like waffles before school and shit. Got into work on time.
Wow.
Yeah, actually
That's-
solved the problem or two. Didn't have to come home for lunch and nap.
Well, hey, that's something.
But
Hey.
it's pretty boring.
Well, like I said, Allie knows things. Look, she even knows a good shrink who's a badass. So there you go. I don't know where Allie lives. It's probably not close to Michael, but
Yeah.
you know, again, a helpful community. And again, let's review.
Appreciate
Allie
that,
knows
Allie.
things.
Yeah.
Like about wood glue.
That's just one of the many
That's
subjects.
the only thing you actually said she knows about. So I've been thinking of like all
Well,
my wood glue applications.
okay, so Allie, now you get in the chat and tell people some of the other things that you and I discussed.
Tell
that
us
we-
things you know about Allie.
Yeah, because it's a lot. Well, and this is the joke, but her and I were in the same chats like for 4 days running, all at the same time, including a couple really obscure ones. And we got talking about this, that, and the other thing. It's like, wow, you know a wide variety of subjects. And so we're comparing notes on various things. So
I have to go. Wah, well, damn you. Hold on. Back to this one. Wah, 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 wah.
all right, well, that was no urban joke, but that was good effort. You know, not terrible. Shrinkage. Do people know about shrinkage?
I don't think anyone did until Seinfeld.
No, but now people know.
So we should thank him.
Hey, there's the other part of Pendar Mandar. Hi, Mandar, how are you? And
Look for a new song to premiere.
very cool.
Hey, Hubs.
Awesome.
Yep, I'm actually gonna have some
Oh,
stuff.
Walt, what's up?
Yeah. Oh, there's my man Vault. Yeah, it was. We were talking about guitar repair. That's how the wood glue thing came up. Because he was going to try and use Gorilla Glue, and we're both
Ooh,
Allie and I are
that's,
like, bro, no,
Yeah.
no, that stuff expands. That's the wrong. Don't use
yeah.
that crap. It's got its place. That ain't it. So yeah. Okay. Dog paw. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, recovering. Come on, E. Urban.
All
You
right.
should be able to do that.
Come on, boys. Let's have a joke off.
Yeah.
That's we count on you fellas to bring because Dom had a great one earlier, but we can't carry all the jokes. You guys gotta do your fair
You
share.
can only take the show so far, folks.
It takes a village of community idiots.
Of idiots.
That's right. Right here is all the villages said, "Hey, idiots, go get on this show, have fun." So here we are. Good stuff. What else you been up to besides playing like a dirty dog? I know you've written a bunch of new songs here of late.
Yeah. We wrote 3 keepers last week. So on Saturday, there's a radio station near me, WXPN, and they were doing a songwriting challenge. So they announced the prompt on the radio, and then all of us that were already registered got the prompt in an email, and we had 24 hours to write a song, film ourselves performing it, put up the video. And so we were doing that, but to prep for that, I had Maria giving me song prompts for the 2 days leading up to that, and we did 10-minute song challenges. So she would give me a prompt, 10 minutes, I'd write a song, and I ended up with 2. We did 2 that I was like, these are actually pretty decent, so I'll keep those. And then I wrote the song 18 Wheels for the WXPN 24-hour song.
Now, are they going to play them all, like on air or something?
I don't know how they're going to do it. They were sort of vague. They said from essentially now till the 23rd of June, they'll be doing judging and sharing. So that makes it sound like since they didn't know what they were going to get, they're going to leave it vague. If there's some
Right.
good material, maybe they'll share it. But on the 23rd, they announced 4 finalists. And then on July 1st, they announced the winner.
Okay, that's cool,
Okay,
man.
that's very cool. Yeah, it's
I mean,
tough.
you need all that kind of shit for, you're around of one and just do your own music and stuff. So I think that's good.
Yeah, plus this one, a lot different than doing the NPR thing. This is local, so it was only for songwriters in the broadcast area. So I've actually come across a lot of other songwriters that are nearby from it just by looking at the videos. It's like all of these people live within like 2 hours.
Right. Yeah. And well, and then just from that, then you can start hooking up where do they play and blah, 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 blah. No, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and I've been doing a lot of that with the open mics too, just meeting a bunch of different musicians and they're letting us know where all the different
Right.
places to play are happening. So
Now, and
Cool.
that's very cool. Well, and Dom and I were part of a couple songwriting groups where they had prompts and everything, and that could be a good way to go. Both of us got a couple songs out of it, but there are other times too that, I was feeling like we're getting a little slavish to it, and I kind of pulled out
Well-
of the groups because it.
The reason why we both soured on it, it wasn't always about. I like the writing the song prompt, but they were like restricting. Remember, I was done a one chord song. I was like, I'm done. Yeah, because that's not doing anything for me.
Well, and that was the fun thing because A Cold Wind came out of that exact prompt. So
Yeah, but that's not a one chord song.
it is. Well, you're right. So never mind. No. Okay.
I've
now.
seen your hands. It's not.
Well,
to be fair, Chris is a bass player. It's
Yeah. Thank you. Always make fun of bass
Based off
players.
of one chord, but then I threw in three others.
Well, and yeah, Don's memory on this is actually better than mine. But
Right?
yeah,
There's
the
an
fact
A minor, there's an F, and there's four different.
the fact of
there's
the
a-
matter was the prompt reminded me and gave me the basis for that song. And I freely admit it. I put it on the group and I said, "Hey, it was a great prompt. I got the song out of it. Totally cheated. Didn't follow the rules. Screw you. It's a good song."
I mean, that's all prompts should like. I enjoy
Yeah.
any of those things as exercises, and whenever I do anything like that, I don't always expect to keep. I think for some people they don't like if they don't get to keep what they like. If at the end they don't have something they're happy with, then they feel like it was a lost time. And I'm like, you're learning something every time you do it. So give
Yeah,
you know,
it's
Marie
not a
gives me
bad
5
exercise.
prompts. I'm shocked that I ended up with 2 songs out of 5 10-minute prompt songs. Challenges, but just the exercise of like just making
Yeah.
yourself doing something fast, or try something in a different key, or whatever the thing is. I look at them all as just exercises, and if you get something that you can keep out of it, awesome. If not, it was still an exercise. It's worth doing.
Well, and that's exactly right. Yeah, I mean, that's what you do if you go to the gym. You're trying to build up your body, you're exercising, you're trying different things. You're not going to love all the exercises, you're not going to do them all, but you're growing and building, so I totally get it. We are going to do one thing because Jeff asked, and I've said this for years. I always do what Hippie says. But Hippie and I share a birthday. We're both in June. He's here, and then I'm at the end of June. And he bought himself a present. And we're going to share his little present. This is the Hippie gift to himself. And check it out. This is what Hippie got.
Check it out, folks. This is my brand new Yamaha 700 Kodiak 2023. It's brand new off the showroom floor. And it came in at a steal. Right on, that I just couldn't pass up. Instead of spending 14 grand to get all the things that I wanted in a four-wheeler, especially a 700, this has it all, and I save about 5,000 bucks. Right on. Bought a box to go with it. Right on. Just gave it a bath. Took it for a little mud ride. Christened it Maiden Voyage. Rock on. Yeah, man. Enjoy, folks. Peace.
That's sweet. I like
Yeah,
that.
there you go. How cool is that, right? I mean,
That's pretty awesome.
I would get those like this up in Pennsylvania everywhere. You could ride those, except for where we live. And if I got one, I would have to get one for each of my kids.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I need a truck to transport. And I'm like, forget about it.
Yeah, I get it. Well,
But
and
that thing's cool.
yeah, very cool. Well, happy birthday, hippie. I mean, you should buy yourself a little something. We talked about I bought myself something that I've never had before. Irish moonshine, and I mean because the Irish are really good at things. It's moonshine, but it's triple distilled, so it's going to be smooth and it's going to be wonderful. And that's my little birthday present. I didn't spend a lot of money for it, but because I'm a cheap bastard. We know that, and it was under $30 to have this stuff shipped to me, so I'm pretty happy about that. So, and maybe I'll buy another cheap Chinese guitar just so we can have something to talk about next year.
Oh yeah, that was like months.
Yeah, that was.
I generally always get myself a Christmas present, and I usually wrap it and put it on the tree, and I put like from Santa Claus on it. I got like what did I get last year? I bought a Lego, a
Just
Lego
one Lego.
land speeder.
Oh, sweet. Oh, right. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I remember that. All right. See here, Mandar's a June birthday too, so he's. So we got Hippie, and then Mandar, and then me. I'm doing the tail end. So if anybody has a birthday after 24th, that's. Which makes me, I think, a Cancer.
Y'alls.
Y'all, so many June birthdays. That's right. And this is the important thing, and I'm sure this was field tested. They threw a mousse on top just to make sure that the Yamaha could handle it. But as Yamaha builds good stuff. As somebody who plays a couple of their guitars, I like Yamahas. So there you go.
Yamaha.
Now, I did used to buy myself little things at Christmas, and my wife finally literally beat it out of me because like 3 years running, I bought myself something I'd kind of talked about, and I just bought it, and she had bought it for me for Christmas. So I'm like, hey, look, I got this thing, and she was steaming. So I quit doing that. Now, my
Getting
birthday...
your own thing.
Yeah, my birthday...
See, I just think the whole idea of telling the person, like, this is what I want, and them getting it is just kind of like, it defeats the whole purpose of getting a gift kind of thing. You're like,
Well, maybe.
I like, even with like my kids, I enjoy the hunt to try to figure out what the hell they like and stuff, so I don't know. But it just seems kind of stupid, Milo. Like, what do you want for Christmas? I don't give a shit. I'm going to buy whatever I want, so you
Yeah.
do the same.
Yeah.
So we get ourselves, like, silly things, and then...
Yeah, well, I get that. That's fun. And thank you, Jeff, for reminding me. Duh, and I wished her happy birthday and everything yesterday, but I forgot Lori's birthday was yesterday. So, lots of June birthdays.
Put them
Okay.
wall.
Blazing Stars is another. Look,
No?
I mean, I guess our folks all got busy around that time of year. I don't know. Power went out, whatever, but there we go. Yeah, nobody's complaining. June's great because, man, you're right dead in the middle. You got Christmas and then your birthday, so you're getting really good big gifts on both your birthday and Christmas. So I think June's birthdays rock for that reason.
It's true. Nice spacing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice spacing for major gifts.
Yeah, I totally had my folks plan that. Okay, well, that's one way to go. All right, wait a minute. Dun, 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 dun. Well, hey, you try, right? Hey, by the way, how's your very expensive can't actually play it guitar going, Dogpaw? Were we ever going to see that thing, or still in the shop?
I'm missing something.
Okay, well, Dogpaw spent a lot of money on a custom guitar, and it's still not
Yeah.
right. Needs some fretworks. Have fun. Stay out of the ditch, Jeff. Have a good one, man. So yeah, he's got daylight. He can still rip around up there. So, because that's how Alaska works, folks. You get to the part of the where the sun really doesn't go down. Just kind of gets kind of.
Is that everywhere
kinda
or
easy.
just certain parts?
Well, again, the further north you go, that's so a lot of Alaska. That's true for part of the year. Whereas, just they don't have much. I noticed it, like even my dad's place up in Montana is enough farther north from us that when we go up there and it's 9:30 and the sun's still out, and it doesn't really get dark until 10 or later.
Yeah, last time we were in Iceland, it was in June, and the sun was up the entire time we were there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Never went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a little jealous. My wife and I's bucket list thing is to go to Iceland and hit a bunch of the hot springs there, and I don't know that we're ever going to do it, but we'd love to.
Oh, it's a fabulous country. Yeah.
Yeah.
I recommend doing it. Just
Okay. Well, then I'll tell her. Just find the money, honey, because Michael said so.
Yeah, just embezzle it. That's what else you're going to become a
there you
CEO
go.
for. A CFO for. You don't have access to the money.
No, and she set it up that way because she's the most honest person on the planet. She, yeah.
Oh, you said 20 hours of daylight. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And I know
of-
parts of
that's a whole
Alaska,
lot of
it's like,
daylight.
yeah, there's parts up there, it's like 22 hours of daylight. That's, so. Yeah, because I love watching the videos where, hippies ripping around doing something at midnight, 3 in the morning, it's broad daylight, basically. Yeah, so very cool. All right, I'm checking the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so there we go. I knew Dogpod say, buy another expert. Yeah, both true and a joke. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's why I've always been a try and buy kind of guy. I want to physically touch the guitar. I want to play it. I want to make sure that it rocks, and then I'll buy it.
You know who? I actually set up by Marshall. I think he seems like a really good guitar tech. Because even the stuff
Yes.
he posts, it's like he cares about. Like I wish I would send him except it's so expensive to send someone a guitar to.
Yeah,
up,
you got to insure it. But for me, he's in Oregon. He's close enough that I would. And I'll tell you what, I probably need a refret job on my 12-string. And yeah, I would send it to Marshall. There's no question.
He not only sounds like he knows what he's doing, he sounds like he loves doing it. And,
Yes.
Absolutely.
It needs those two things to, I just had a whole thing with my Taylor that, I wasn't satisfied with the action, and everyone looked at it. Oh, it's too low. They need to put spacers under the bridge, and I got it back. And when you get a guitar back and it has brand new strings, you get lulled into because it sounds good. The strings are all bright, and then
Happy,
after the
yeah.
things settle in, I'm like, I want you to take the strings off. Because I don't think you put a spacer under it. And I was like, why would you say that? And I was like, when I picked up the guitar, it wasn't in tune. Like, how could you check the action on the guitar if you don't put it all the way into proper tuning? It seemed like you just put the strings on. And, they were, nowhere's near even close to being in tune. So it was like,
yeah.
so I think you charged me basically $180 to change the guitar strings.
Wow.
And, they took them off and they never, it was like, just, thank you. I'm done. So it really, and this place came like really highly recommended.
Yeah, everybody has a bad day, but it's disconcerting when you pay, I was getting my oil change here a close place. Well, on Ford Escapes, and you used to own one, they've got this little plate underneath that kind of cuts down the road noise and everything, but you got to get the screws in right, and if you don't, it falls off. It falls fuck off. Ask me how I know, because I drug my plate for 78 miles this summer because nobody could screw a friggin' screw in. So, and I, paid $70 for the privilege of not getting screwed.
My father once took his car to the Jiffy Lube and they forgot to put the drain plug back in.
Yes.
And he seized the engine by the time he got home.
Yeah, I hate my dealership, but They know how to put the plate on. And that's how I got it fixed. I mean, I drug it off and threw it in the back and went in and I said, hey. And they said, we got spare parts. We do this all the time. Yeah, we'll change the oil and we'll put your plate back on. Thanks. And I didn't pay a whole lot more there than I paid to have it not put on properly. So, yeah.
I am into, what did he say? He's into race parts.
Yeah, he's into the race. He's a guitar guy and a motorhead. He's one of those
I've
guys.
decided, I told my wife I'm going to sell my car.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's like a new kitchen. Between that and 2 boys, I got 2 boys and only one sports car. So I'm going to sell it. Next year I'm going to get it fixed up, cleaned up, and then
And
let someone else have
goodbye to the Mustang. Okay, well.
Right to the Mustang.
Hey, my kid had that. He had an Austin Martin. He loved it for a while, and then he got rid of it and didn't lose a lot of money on it and got something. Then he bought a Jeep, which was dumb because that Jeep is a total piece of shit. But
Well, like the car, it's old enough now that the prices are starting to go up again. And,
yeah.
you know, I only have 7,000 miles on a, what is it, a 2008. So I'll get more than I paid for it finally. So,
Yeah, oh, that's cool. Yeah,
it's all cool, Maria.
I missed.
You know, if you're not going to use something, and I barely ever drive it. I mean, it's dead in my fucking driveway. So.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, well, we ended up. This was the lease that we did, and we like to lease cars, and if they're good cars, and then we go ahead and buy it out at the end of the lease, and that's what we did on this, and then I tore off the pan and drove it in a ditch and everything, and
I never understood the lease until I got my own business. Now I understand the importance of a lease.
Yeah, now it makes a lot of sense from a business standpoint. That's what my kid has gotten 2 rounds of funding here this month. So his business is starting to get moving, and we said, all right, look into leasing a vehicle for the company and, get the tax benefits from it. And he needs, he's driving our old spare car right now because his was dead. So,
Like my car's paid off. I don't owe anything on my car, but my wife got a new car, and I was like, I have to pay for it.
yeah.
She's like, okay.
Yeah, we're paying on ours for the next several years.
Yeah, well,
we owe more on the car than we owe on our house, so that tells you.
Oh, that's we're in the, what are we in? We're less than 170 now on what we owe, so we're like, ooh, we can see the end of the road. When you hit that point where more goes towards principal than towards interest.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That's a good.
We are sadly not anywhere close to that yet.
Yeah. You're on the opposite end of that.
Yeah. Well, we were very lucky that when I was. I mean, so we've been together 12 years. So for the 10 years we had a house, right? We were in a very good financial place, and we were very smart when we got married. We talked very much in detail about our ages, what we wanted out of life, and we both came to the one decision: we don't want to be a slave to the house. We don't know what the future brings, so we wanted to get a house that one salary could support, So at the time, for 10 years, we double paid the mortgage every month.
Yeah.
So at the most crucial time, we were knocking it down, and turns out, a couple years after that, I lose my job, everything goes haywire, and so we are able to recover. But
Yeah, no, that's a good way to go. Kay's always put a little extra money on it because, again, she's an accountant. That's what she does. She knows these things, and so we did go in to see.
You're paying anything. Another thing is breaking your mortgage payment into bi-monthly payments rather than monthly payments. Knock a huge amount of interest you pay.
Yes,
off.
over the course of a loan, an ungodly amount. I mean, it's staggering the amount of money that you save by doing that. Again,
Because it compounds every 2 weeks rather than every month.
exactly. Hey, folks, you thought you'd just get to hear about guitars here? You're going to get financial advice too. We know things. So all of that is good. We went in to see our financial planner. And, this was an important discussion because Kay and I are getting towards retirement. And the discussion was, do we get fancy feast cat food in our retirement, or do we have to buy the crappy generic Walmart cat food?
Yeah.
And, we came out of there feeling like we probably can do the fancy feast. So we're feeling great about that.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
It's a very small can, though.
she's a tiny person. So,
Yeah, that's true.
I'll eat a can and a half. She gets a half a can. We're good. But yeah, we went in and our estimate on what we were going to get from Social Security was inaccurate. So after we adjusted the numbers, we're like, okay, we're not gonna starve to death. But we spent our money on our kids, and we should have spent a little more on our saving for retirement. So. And this helps no one except for E. Urban in the chat, because everybody in the chat is as old as we are. So if you didn't save properly, yeah, you're fucked too. Sorry. But
Yeah, well, we've always been pretty loyal. Like 15% we put in a separate account, and like a lot of things. Then we had this whole thing. Like luckily, we were older when we met, so we were both in our prime earning kind of years. And I remember we just money in savings and stuff. At one point, I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, how much do you how much do you want as a safety net? My wife, I want to be able to know we can live 2 years and not have to worry about our mortgage. And once we got there, then I'm like, we can't put anything else in savings. We have to invest. And so we started doing all that kinds of shit. And who knows what's going on, but on paper it looks good right now.
yeah, and you're right, man. And I knew it. I was a business major. If I'd saved some money starting in my 20s, I'd be feeling a little bit better about things. But you never do. It's just but the good news is we're in the part where we can do some catch up, and that will help a little bit. So
Yeah, we're still we have another. I figure I have another 10 years for growth before, we have a pretty decent stock portfolio and stuff like that, and it's all risk. It's fucking risk out there. It's scary to look at some days. Whoa, we made $6,000 today. Oh, we lost $12,000 today. But it's all on paper. It doesn't make a difference. At a certain point, we're just going to go super safe. But what Allie was saying about the one thing I think I did right, as soon as I had Social Security numbers for my kids, we opened up both. They both have stock accounts and 529s for education, and from when they were born, it's the only thing we always make sure we put money into, because that's all they're gonna get. It's my kid's 10. I'm like, listen, I know you like this house. Me and Mom are gonna sell this house and use the money, so you have to be successful.
Yeah. Well, that's where we'll eventually sell this place, and that'll fund a lot of our retirement and whatever. Assuming we retire, I may just do something dumb driving on a vacation, and that's the end of us. So you never know.
That's true. Yeah.
Live your life, YOLO. So don't mean to get all morbid, but stuff happens, or it doesn't.
So when you get older, do you think you'll ever fully retire?
No, No, I don't.
You
No.
always do, like, you won't do what you're doing, but you'll do something.
Well, right. I'm supposed to take over for a guy who we thought, and Bob is 88 right now, and he's still doing it, and so, I'll take over that magazine when he eventually checks out. And it just, as long as I can see the friggin' computer screen, yeah, I'm working. There's no age limit,
That's true.
and I
You're
like
right, yeah.
doing what I do. So I'm not planning on retiring. I don't know what I would do with myself in retirement. Frankly, I was just built to work. I've worked my whole life, so I would not be. I would actually probably really drink if I was retired and just sat around and I didn't have anything to do.
It's like one of those things. It's like I can't say I love what I do for work because it's just
Yeah,
I was raised like men have to work, but I like life better working than not working because I could not. I think I would crash and burn. I don't think
I totally get
I
it.
think I'm extremely lazy, and without anything to do, I don't do anything. So,
Yeah, that's why my life is run by deadlines, and I love it because there's a line in the sand. Get there, because otherwise, if it's a squishy deadline or hey, when you get to it, I don't ever get to it. But it's like this must be delivered on this date. Okay, I can do that.
most
Yeah,
of my
and that's the thing. My kid was born with that entrepreneurial gene, and he's getting after it. He's got his business going, and he'll be in New Jersey again next week, and then they're driving down to Philadelphia for a big
Jersey.
cement.
You
Yeah,
go
he'll be in
visit Michael.
Jersey. Yeah, he can wave at Michael on the way down to Philadelphia. They're going for a concrete conference down there.
Oh, Michael's very close to Philadelphia.
I'm 5 minutes from Philly. Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll be in Philly someplace.
Nice.
But yeah,
I guarantee you and Mason Music Lab, right?
Yeah, actually, we've chatted.
I
on
think
Facebook
you
a
guys
little bit.
must live in the same fucking neighborhood because he can see the bridge. And he
Really?
works. Yeah, he works in Philly.
Oh,
I
I
know
thought he
he's
was
very-
farther away. Yeah, because we talked about when I was playing Morristown Sports Fest, and I thought he said he was about an hour away from there. Yeah, so he's somewhere nearby then, if he can see Philly.
yeah.
I mean, I'm
That's
pretty
cool.
sure. I'm pretty sure he's
you
like.
should figure it out.
Yeah, I'll walk out in the morning and I'll just start calling for him, see if he
Exactly.
comes out. He probably
that's-
lives across the street.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to get together with Wolf's Den because we got talking about it. And not only does he live in Denver, he lives about 10 minutes from me. So we are literally neighbors. And of course, Valerie's just up the road. So we should try and get together with people in our community if we.
Well,
if we
the
can.
last time I actually thought I liked someone enough
Well,
to
yes.
hook up with them, I think the person may have killed me if we actually had. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be a little more skeptical. I'll only meet Michael if Marie is not around because I just don't trust that woman.
Good reason, Tom.
I've got this. I've got this highlighted. What's a progressive concrete factory? I mean, does it use the right pronouns, or how does that work?
Oh, Chris.
I'm just
what is
what
a
I mean. What is a progressive concrete company?
Very, scientifically forward.
Oh, so rather
So
than
they
like when
put
I
great
make concrete,
science in
I just eyeball
Mixing
it.
rock,
So they do
sand,
math.
and water together.
All right.
That boring old Roman concrete.
Well, that's the thing. I've walked on Roman concrete roads, and they're 2,000 years old, and they're better shape than the roads in my friggin' neighborhood that they paved 4 years ago. So I get it. But you would appreciate my kid's company.
Yeah,
'Cause that-
totally. This concrete actually ate pollution, so they would cover buildings with it, and then the buildings would eat the air pollution around it, purifying the air.
Yes, his product makes concrete both easier to work with. It cuts down the pollution produced in installing the concrete and makes it stronger and isolates carbon. So it's a very cool technology that he's come up with.
See?
So it sounds very progressive.
Yeah.
In that use of the word, yes.
So basically, she was completely right in what she said.
That's why I just wanted to ask. See, I wasn't
I
questioning
got
her.
your back, Maria. I don't
know.
trust you, but I got your back.
You're safe.
Well, I mean, I wanted to understand what she was saying, and I was also looking for a joke. And if I could have slid one in, I would have. But yeah, no. She just gave a very good answer.
We're digging deep tonight, folks.
Yeah, we are. Well, I'm going to give Michael a quick last word before we go to another Scars and Shadows song, and then we will play one of Pammy's songs, and then all three of us will be back to chat some more about Progressive Concrete or IRAs or something else.
Unless you have to go like cut your hair and shave your beard or anything like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah. If
you
we're
can't-
keeping you
Check
from
out
that,
resumes and
Unless
stuff.
we're keeping you from your new cashier job.
I thought this was an interview. Aren't you guys hiring me for something?
Yes.
I don't have any smart last words or anything.
Okay.
So
okay. Well, there you have it.
those are them. That's all I got. I can write lyrics to songs. I can't think of things to say.
Okay, well, that was not helpful at all because I was hoping you'd give me like a minute and a half while I got the next song.
Oh, all right. If you want a minute and a half, I don't know if any.
Jump the dope back.
Yeah. So we showed this on our May 16th for our Porch Fest. We made merch. So we got Michael Song's tote bags.
Ooh.
Ooh, well, look at that.
Kind of look like a leprechaun.
Yeah. I'm a little bit Irish, so yeah.
Well, there you go.
So this was something I drew about 7 years ago. I had
Yeah.
some friends, really good friends. They made a
It is,
year. That's me playing a banjo in a shopping cart.
After seeing that drawing, I would say it's a very good thing you write songs, my friend.
This is what you call a 2-minute sketch with a Sharpie.
Damn, shots fired. Wow.
If I spent more than 2 minutes on it, I would be upset about Tom's comment. But I used this because I thought it was perfect for a tote to take shopping or to get other people's merch because we don't have merch. So we're like at Porch Fest, here, buy these and go pick up other people's merch and put them in there. But I had some friends, when I turned 40, they made a year-long game for me. And every 9 days, they gave me a new challenge. So it was to break me out of my comfort zone, having me talking to strangers. I would go into a coffee shop and talk to the barista. Or they wanted me to ride in a shopping cart because I'm also not good at having fun when people can see me. So like in public, I don't like to have fun. I don't know why. So they were getting me to do all those things. And then part of it, towards the end of that year, I had to draw this big thing that included a bunch of the stuff that I did. So I did it in 2 minutes with a Sharpie, and that was part of it. So when we were like, let's make merch for Porch Fest, we have exactly 1 week to design it, make it, and have it shipped to our house. So I was just like, I already have this. So we just
Deadlines.
There you go.
Yeah.
I got it. Now you have interesting friends. They're pushy and intrusive, so cool.
That's the best kind, right?
You should do this, you know? Next thing you know, they'll be telling you to cut your hair and shave your beard. Maybe not. Okay, that kind of fell flat.
I was just like, my friends were assholes because they were like, they would tell me to do like really bad things. You know, like, hey,
We should do
hey,
this.
Michael, let's make you have more fun and appreciate your life better. And no, mine were like, hey, go steal drugs, you know.
Yeah,
or,
let's set this cop car on fire.
you
That'll
know.
be fun.
My friends were dicks.
Yeah.
You should call
Yes,
your
my
friends
friends are
and say,
very
you know what? Yeah, they sound nice.
Yeah, they sound nice.
They are. They are spectacular. Yeah.
Lots of great.
I actually just ran into those same two friends. They live in a different state now. And in the middle of the day, because it was right after physical therapy, I went to a supermarket, and they pulled into the parking lot at the same time because they were doing a demonstration for Girl Scouts, I think, later that night. So we live in two different states. On a Thursday afternoon at like 3 p.m., we both pull into a parking lot. So that was pretty cool.
No, that's a small world, right? Oh, that's very cool.
Just riding shopping carts together.
Yeah. We giggled and stuff where everyone could see us.
Very good. All right, thank you. You padded the time up. So now let's get a little something from Scars and Shadows, Angels in the Dark.
She smoked her last cigarette, lips moving slowly while she sighed. And hell will rise up again. She smelled the fire burning, each finger wrapped tight around it, trying to contain the pain. In the dark, the sky is still lit. She will fly once again, crying out to God. Angels in the dark, 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 look into her soul. Angel praying for a soul, our broken and battered world. Into the darkness we would fall. She sank and fell into her hole, scratching and clawing to get out. Her torn up wings cover the soul. Angel falling to the ground, crying out to God. Angels in the dark, crying out to God. Angels in the dark, crying out to God. Angels in the dark, crying out to God. Angels in the
All right, another dark and but her music makes you think. I like it.
Yeah, no, that's
Good
one of my
stuff.
favorite songs from her too.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right,
that's a
that
good one. Yeah, there's a couple of hers that I really dig. That's one of them, but there's more, and we'll get to them.
Nice.
But yeah, just a little change of pace in some ways. Just an artist that I really like. Just because very different from anything I do, and I like that. I don't like people like me. I like people different
Yeah,
from me.
I don't like people like you either.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Come on, we're one of the most unlikeliest trios.
Oh yeah. I mean, completely. If you just threw 100 people in a room and we're three of them, and somebody's like, "Well, those three should get together because they'll be best pals," nobody would believe it. But that's why.
Well, that's what makes life interesting. I know enough people like me. I don't need to know more.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's not
Plus,
enough
it's
air in
usually
the room.
not it's not always the things that the people are or believe or do that make you connect with them, right? Sometimes just you connect and you don't even know why. You're like, I don't know why. I just like interacting with this person.
Correct.
I don't have an actual reason for that.
Yeah, I think people sometimes really overthink that.
Yeah.
You know, you just you form a good relationship, and you don't have to examine it. I mean, that's like a psychologist, and the next thing you know, you're telling him to shave off his hair and beard.
Exactly.
Nobody needs that in
Trader
their
Joe's,
life.
Yeah. Well, Chris and I had a discussion that he and I both end up at the same place, and we get there 180 degrees apart from each other.
Yes. Yeah, it's
You know,
like the
so
old math
it-
problem where you drive in opposite directions and then we have a head-on.
So it kind of made us both go, how you do it really isn't important. It's that, it's what you want. So when what you want aligns, it doesn't make a difference how you go about doing it.
Well, in management roles that I've had, that was my credo. It's like, here's where we need to get to. How you get there, as long as it's legal, I don't care. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm just going to tell you to do it.
Well,
And that management style worked very well for me.
I was
for the
in
most part.
construction, so we don't always care about what was legal.
Well, that's a little,
We just made sure we had someone else to blame it on.
yeah. Well, that, it depends on the industry. Some things are fungible in certain things, but yeah, our product was such that you need to actually be legal, because otherwise the feds will go, he cut some corners there, and we have a problem with that.
Well, that's how buildings fall down.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's how bridges just collapse, and yeah. I want to hear. I'm going back to a Dogpaw comment. Where is it? There, this one. Owning Google. How does one own Google?
Well, you can own the stock.
Well, no, but I mean,
If you own
what I
Google-
think Dogpaw is saying is he was better at marketing than Google is, and do tell. I mean, Google is a colossus, and I'm not sure that it's why, and I'm not sure it's a good thing, so that's why that comment caught my eye.
Yeah. I am not a
As
marketer.
a stock person, he got inside information about their marketing techniques and was disgusted by it.
Maybe so. Got their algorithm. I mean, usually you have to be elected to Congress to get inside stock trading tips.
Well, really, when you...
Not inside stock, just like investor reports.
Yeah, no, I get what I do know what you mean, and really, when you think about marketing, it's really the most dishonest way to get people to like you in a way. It's because that's what it's all about, and I don't know.
Well, most of it appeals on.
I'm saying that as a person who can't market himself for shit. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
I am the biggest proponent of no, don't really listen to me. Which is why I get along with Michael, because he's very much like that. He has a lot
Yeah.
to say, but he doesn't want anyone to pay attention to it. So, but I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I remember Dogpaw when Google said, do no evil, and of course, way back then we knew that was a lie.
That is something that only evil people say.
Exactly.
An honest man never says it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, honest guys never say, "I'm honest. Trust me." They don't have to. Yeah.
Like one of the worst things is when someone goes, "Between you and me," yeah, right.
Yeah.
You don't say those things unless you don't mean them.
Yeah. Now, I had a good friend, and he was so funny because he'd say, "Look, I'm going to let you in on a little secret," and that to me was for code. Is he's already told 50 people, and he's going to
50
tell
other
another
people,
50
exactly.
after this
Yeah.
call.
Mhm.
So, but that was his little thing. It's like I'm bringing you into the circle, just me and you, and because it's such a small industry, we all know each other. And that man, we'd get in the bar and we'd talk about, hey, guess what Lee told me that he didn't tell any of you, and we all started laughing because we all knew it. So yeah. Oh, let's see. Okay, see, and that I think I happen to agree with your distinction. Marketing is it presents it's something it appeals a lot of times on an emotional level, and it allows people to connect with the product or the branding or just some
Yes.
of that, getting their
That
money
is-
sales. That's
But see,
different.
my thing. But if you understand that, all you have to do is portray yourself, your brand, to appeal to that sort of person, and they like you. But it isn't necessarily truthful. So that I totally disagree with.
yeah,
You can
I think
scam the
that's
system.
very situational.
I don't see. I'm a New Yorker. I don't believe that. I think that is the norm. I 100% think that is the norm.
Yeah, I think it's nuanced. I mean, we all, the expression gild the lily. We always put our best foot forward. Well, that's marketing in a nutshell. You're putting your best foot forward. You're putting on your best face. Now, there's levels of that. When Dow Chemical was taking out all those ads and going, better living through chemistry, and we make modern life possible,
yeah.
because they killed all those people in India.
It's
So,
funny, like when you see one of those commercials out of the blue, like were they selling? And then you're like, what do they do?
Yeah,
That's what you
exactly.
see. Like, what do they do? Because that's the only time they're going to spend money is like they want to try, Like I worked for a place one time, and the owner got into a lot of troubles. And I remember hiring a company that what they would do is they would push so much positive propaganda on the internet that all it basically does is bury the negative stuff that makes it harder to come across. And so that's
Yeah.
marketing in a way. It's marketing is presenting your best self, not necessarily your truest self.
Yeah, it's something like. Now, Pendar's got a good point, and this applies to sales. And having done sales, I completely agree with this. It is miserable to try and sell a product that you personally just don't believe in, and that's what ran me out of corporate. Basically, is I had a succession of companies, and I didn't believe in their product. And I didn't believe how we were selling it, and it did not do what it claimed to do. And I'm like, I can't do this.
Hey, Joel.
Yeah. Ooh. Jovel was rocking the other night. Man, she sounded good on G Maze. You go. It was fun having her there. Yeah. But anyway, that's my little thoughts on that. Yeah, well, and that's because we're human. Humans are corrupt. We just
Therein
are.
lies the problem.
Yeah.
Humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically, once you get three, you can get two humans together. But once three people are together, something is bound to go awry.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Indeed.
I know. I was just thinking that.
Yeah, I can mathicate that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we may have a problem.
Mathicating.
Something's gonna happen.
He's mathicating again.
That's
Well,
why
I can
married somebody.
solve that problem from it going anywhere, because there's three of us here. Because I have to be somewhere in 7 hours, so I should probably head off and get some sleep.
Okay. It was
Enjoy
great
your
catching up
first
with
day,
you. It's great to
enjoy
see
your
you.
first day on the job.
Will do. Yeah.
All right, Maria. Always great to see you.
You
Thanks
did.
for coming,
Take care.
guys.
Thanks for coming, Michael.
Yeah, good catching up with both of you. See you guys.
All
soon.
right.
Later on, buddy.
We'll see you next time,
Good
everybody.
night, Maria.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Remember to catch
Michael's
Michael
songs, everybody.
Sunday at noon Eastern Time for his 1 hour set. And then it directly goes to Valerie's show, which I like to hang out at that show after Michael's. And Michael played this Wednesday, so he will not be playing next Wednesday. So catch he and Maria on Sunday. So there you go. There's my little Frank Terzo impression. What's going on?
3 more people.
Yeah. That's about
Pretty
right.
much.
Yeah. We pretty much agree with that. And, because Maria is fantastic at promoting, it's what she does, and she's damn good at it.
Well,
there you go.
again, there's a difference between promoting and she's just promoting him.
Yeah, promotion is not a bad thing. Again,
I'm
you
very
and I,
bad.
you and I should get better
self-promoting.
at it. No, I
Yeah.
completely suck at
I
it.
mean, there's a difference, though. Michael is trying to make a thing of this music.
Yes.
So you need to. You and I are not. So what is the real need to?
It's funny you should mention that because an A&R guy has connected with me through SoundCloud. What's SoundCloud? I don't do anything with it other than park my songs there. And he and I have been going back and forth for like a week. Well, so do you play out and on and on and on? I'm like, and I'm telling the guy, I said, dude, I'm in my early 60s, not going out on the road. Just, telling you now, if you like my music, that's fantastic. Happy about it. But, if you want to talk about a record deal or something, yeah, we can talk. But I'm not going out on pro. That's not happening. So, but I just thought that was interesting that, out of the blue, this guy starts. And as you guys know, 99.99947% of anybody that contacts you through any of those music sites is bullshit. It's a scam. And this guy probably is too, other than he is attached to the company he says he is, and, but whatever.
You know what it is, but I guess people just assume that if you make music or love music, that is your dream. And
yes.
Anybody is willing to give up anything to live out their dream, except, like, has it always been a dream of mine? Yes. But what's been my number one dream kind of all my life is to have my family kind of thing. So
exactly.
my personal opinion is my kids don't. My wife, when I met her, I wasn't a guitar player. My kids, when they were born, I wasn't a guitar player. And there's just like too much I would have to give up to try. And it's not worth the risk to them.
Yeah, right.
To do it. That'd be a little too selfish of me at this point.
Oh, hey, man, I went for it in my youth, and,
I wouldn't say, I did it. I played professionally for a number of years, never sustained me. I wouldn't say how hard I tried. I just did it all the time, But, that was cool. Now I got to do something else.
Yeah.
So I'm just, glad I have this.
I'm having the time of my life. Like I told, this is my midlife crisis. And, I'm not interested in a girlfriend or sports cars or anything.
Living to 120, are you? That's good planning.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, in my family, that's not unreasonable. It's a late midlife crisis, admittedly, but, you throw a couple guitars at me and I go on the interweb here and screw around. I'm having the time of my life, so it's all good.
Our dream, me and Chris's new dream, is that Michael succeeds and then he hires us as his road crew or psychological analysts.
Well, that's it. So we can,
we can be there to give them the real when people tell them to go cut off.
That's right.
Like,
hey,
they should have followed that by going, sign, everywhere a sign.
Yes,
that's silliness.
I'm qualified to be a bodyguard. I'm a hell of a guitar tech. So yeah, if it goes that way,
I can insult anyone. I can be very grating. So I'd be like good for crowd control. Like, he doesn't want to talk to you.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd be that guy.
Yeah, you'd be the stand back guy. Hey, stand back. Stand, you guys. No,
Yeah, exactly.
Stand back. Yeah, stand back. Yeah, everybody's got to have a stand back guy.
I walk around like this all the time, you know.
Yeah, no question. I don't know if it's. Did I freeze up or did you freeze up?
No one froze. Oh,
Okay, no, it's
doing
me
some
then.
karaoke. Cool, Heather. Very proud, very proud.
Fun, right? Good for you. I think that's great. You might as well. You know, you sang without a little bit and did a little bit on the streams, dipped your toe. Kind of gets infectious. You know, I mean, Pendar's here, been doing karaoke for a long time. Her buddy Mrs. High is, goes to the club, does it all the time. It's fun. Totally get it.
I'm sorry. That's very funny. I love that. That should be a T-shirt.
Exactly. There's no reason to hate groups. That's wrong. You
Just hate people for who
that
they
guy,
are.
that guy, that guy. Yeah.
It's the most human thing you can say. Just hate people for who they are, not what group they belong to.
Correct. That's just yeah.
Here.
We're down with you, Dog Paw. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I will say, because we did a little bit when Chet Freeman was doing it, I think it's weird singing karaoke. I'm totally uncomfortable doing that.
Yeah, me too.
If I've got a guitar, I'm okay. But, yeah, just standing and singing, I never had a lead singer mindset. And, I love all those songs, and I sing them to myself or in the car all the time. But, yeah, just doing karaoke, man, I want to play guitar and sing.
Yeah, no, I could only get through it if I'm doing both.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I'm not a singer. I don't.
Yeah, I'm just I'm a bass player, guitarist who sings. That's...
My package has shipped, Chris.
Ooh, there you go.
The new Green Machine will be here on Saturday.
Okay,
hey, Ray
good
Pierce. Speaking of hating people, hello, Ray Pierce.
Wow. Dom's got knives sharpened tonight.
No,
folks.
he's the one who said it. He said, speaking of, here I am. Hi, Ray. I have nothing against Ray. I have nothing
Okay.
against anyone.
All right. No, we love everyone.
No, I don't. I absolutely do not love most
I know, and
people.
that's why I said it that way, because I knew that get that reaction out
I
of
don't
you.
go with that. I'm not big with, hey, man, love you, brother.
Love you, brother.
It's not real. It's not me. I like people, but
I enjoy people highly. People energize me.
sure.
I do love a lot of people, but in the same boat, they're, Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody hates you too, for whatever reason. Who hated? Oh, it was Epiphonium. Hates you
Epiphonium.
too.
I'm not a big fan of them. I mean, I wouldn't say I
Hey.
hate them, though. I wouldn't say it's
they're a
like
band.
I always hate's pretty kind of strong. Like to hate something, they must control your life. That you put that much thought into being negative about them. I choose not to like them. I wouldn't say I hate them. Though.
I think it's
Some-
interesting that people. Is there a separation? I mean, there's bands that I don't care for their music. They're just not somebody I'd listen to. There are other bands that I like their music and everything, but I don't think I like one of the people or multiple people in the
True,
band, their
right.
personality or who they are, whatever. But I always separate those. So
Although, did
let's
you
pick
see-
on U2. I mean,
Did
Bono
you
is a
see,
bit much, but
He is a bit much, yes. What I was going to say, their NPR Tiny Desk concert was really good.
I didn't catch. I like
It
those
was
Tiny
very
Desk
good.
concerts, but I didn't catch that one.
It was really good.
But yeah, you separate the. Bono could be a bit much, but does that change their music? Yeah, I don't think so. Their music is their music because it's four guys in that band, and Bono's one of them. So yeah, but I'm not sure everybody makes that distinction.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That is probably most bands, right? To me, they have some good songs and some I don't like. That's Judas
Yeah.
Priest. There's very few bands I can say I like all their songs.
Absolutely. I'm a huge Priest fan. And some of their songs are like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you're around long enough and you do enough songs, they can't all be winners, folks. That's how it works. If they were, well, I mean, that's not true of certain bands. There are bands that are one-hit wonders. They had one good song and then you never heard from them again, and that's how you remember them. But, you know, one and done.
Ooh,
Highlight away.
strong words.
Okay.
I don't know well enough to.
Yeah, I don't.
survey that.
Well, that's it. I mean, you can form an opinion about, you know, some of these guys, but you don't, because we don't know them. You know what you're told about them, or you know, you can judge them maybe by how they conduct themselves. But I don't know if that's the full picture.
Well, you know what? Like, if I ever had a problem with Bono, it would be about all the politicalness behind him. But a lot of that could be my own misconceptions. Like, maybe he really, you know, he has done a lot, kind of thing, and you know, I don't know. So I don't know if I'm necessarily right about those things.
Yeah, and that's a tough one. I guess on some levels, I dislike when celebrities use their celebrity status to go into other areas and push causes and agendas, but that's just me personally. I like, which is why.
What is that term? I remember I accused someone of this term one time. It's like the revert. It's when you use someone else's agenda to move along your own position.
Yeah.
Something mirroring. I forget what the hell it was called.
Yeah.
It was a really.
I remember
us
us talking about
term.
it.
Yeah.
I'm blanking the term as well.
Yeah. But I wouldn't actually say that they do that. I would say that Bono maybe thought they had made it to a point that they could just get people to listen because they were big enough.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You know, I mean, celebrities testifying in front of Congress. Well, okay, you're an actor and you're paid to deliver lines on a script. That's cool. Why are you testifying in front of Congress? I don't get that.
Who did that? Oh,
God, I mean, name somebody. The actress that was in Pretty Woman. I'm blanking her. Julia Roberts has testified in front of Congress twice now. I'm like,
what?
why? I don't even remember. I just remember being irritated. It's like, what do you know about
unless
anything?
it's about acting, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, stick in your
I mean,
lane.
some of the best celebrity testimonials in front of Congress from musicians that
Well, it was interesting.
destroyed.
Well, yeah, Tipper Core is not that smart, and yeah, Dee Schneider was much smarter. As every musician that testified there pretty much owned them, which was nice. Well, that's interesting. Politics per se, but
Who you just had a massive
I can see
freeze
people
freeze.
wrote like in Pink Floyd. You know, I'm Team Gilmore rather than Team Waters, just because Waters irritates me more. But looking at the band, there was some dynamics there. They're all challenging guys, so I just enjoy their music, and I leave it at that.
That's a hard call for me. Who do I like better? David Gilmour. Whose music? He had Roger Waters had a singular vision.
Yes.
Was that he really put together? I mean, without Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall, no one would know who Pink Floyd was.
Well-
and those albums were all him. Although some of the best parts of the songs came from David Gilmour. You know,
Yes.
so you know that's hard.
As usual, the sum was greater than the parts, and that's everybody's ego gets in the way, and they forget that.
That is ultimately the main problem with Roger Waters and anyone in that position, they started to believe the hype around them.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard not to.
It's really hard not to.
Well, because you got all these yes men. You're wonderful. You're great. We've been speaking of the Romans. The Romans used to have a guy that would ride around in the chariot, and they'd be getting their laurels and touring Rome, and there'd be a guy standing, "You're only a mortal. You're only a mortal," to try and, didn't work for most of the emperors, but they tried.
Oh, I was going to say Old Mustard. Know what Judas Priest song I absolutely hate? Painkiller. I cannot
with ya.
even listen to it.
Don't like Painkiller. That's one of my least favorite tracks of theirs.
Probably me as well. It's like instant off.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not a fan of that kind of music. I've never been. Chris, man, your internet is doing some wacky stuff.
Yeah, now all of a sudden I'm really jacking up here. I don't know. I don't know if a storm is moving in. I don't know. I'm going to.
Tommy Shaw. Was that Tommy Shaw? Is that Styx?
Yeah, Tommy Shaw.
Okay. The blonde guy, right?
Yeah, the little blonde guy.
Yeah.
Who's mentioning Tommy Shaw? And in what context?
Where did I just see that? Oh,
okay, Drop. Interesting. And again, I've always heard he was a delightful guy. So maybe he isn't. Maybe he's got a better press agent. Maybe he had a bad day. Who knows?
See, that's what's the great thing about music, Old Mustard, because there's something for everyone, and not everything has to be for everyone.
No, well, thank God. That's why there is such a diverse music community, because we all like different things.
Even when I liked aggressive music, like I always like heavily blues based. Like I loved the early Sabbath, and Maiden and Priest. I like melodic metal, not like I totally dropped out of all the new metal. Just everything's so testosterone driven.
Yeah, again, nuance for me. I've always liked most metal. Don't love. Some of the I don't know what the kind of the genre, the speed metal that came in
like
kind of
thrash
in between.
And,
the thrash metal's not as much. A lot of the new metal I actually did dig because a lot of it had some of the melody and it was cool. But again, that's pretty nuanced. I know a lot of people love Metallica. For me, they're they're good. I like them. I don't love them. And they're kind of like like you're talking about Priest. There's some of their songs that are really good, and other ones is like meh, just don't dig it.
That's truer words were never spoken. Early Sabbath was only Sabbath. Yeah. Dynamo Hum. I love Zappa. Always have, always will. Love Dweezil. Dog Pie, have you ever seen Dweezil do Zappa, play Zappa? And he, great. They're really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never a huge fan of Frank's music. Killer good musician. Holy shit, he was just brilliant in every way. Dweezil, his kid is brilliant. They're really, really top-notch musicians. But, I'm a song guy. I like songs. And, he didn't have a lot of songs that tripped my fancy.
Heather, I don't know what Chris was going to answer, but I did not like Fate's Warning. I love Queensryche.
Huge Queensryche fan. Fate's Warning, I'm not. I know.
I really only know that song with the fish.
With the fish. This is why Jane Starr makes fun of us, folks, because Dom and I get to a certain point in the night, we don't have words,
Do you know what song I meant, though?
I don't know. With the fish?
You don't? There's
no.
Yeah, there was. What is it called? You wanted it all, but that song, and there was like a fish.
Oh well, no, that's not Fate's Warning. That is that is.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about then.
Yeah, now that band I like a lot. Now I'm looking it up.
That was the wrong band all the time then.
Yeah. The Song of the Fitch.
Wait, what was the name of that band then?
Well, I'm blanking it. Living
Anybody?
Color?
Anybody?
Yeah. You want it
Faith
all,
No
but you
More.
can't-
Thank
Faith
you,
No
all
More.
busted.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm completely wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, for like 20 years, I've been
Okay.
saying I don't like that band, and I don't even know who Faith
Wrong
One
band.
is.
My bad.
That's just fucked up, man.
This is why Jade Star makes fun of us, folks.
You haven't heard my Don Toro gross up, man. It's award winning. I've been
I have. I actually not. Do it again. It's something about peanuts.
I'll do both of them. I'll do Dom and Chris Lane Senior. I can.
And
I'll
they're
do
here.
both of them.
They're here,
Right.
so we're not poking fun.
Are they both here? All right, awesome. Been waiting
Chris
for a long time.
Alright, go.
Hey, Chris, my wife, she says something about, I don't know what it was, but it was on a Tuesday, and do you know what I'm talking about, Chris?
Well, Dom, do I live inside your fucking mind? There you go.
That's pretty dead on. It's kind of what we do. Yeah, we get to a point in the evening and words leave us, and apparently bands too. But getting back to the point, I love Queensryche. I own several of their albums. I'm a big fan. Jeff Tate, great vocalist. The guy that replaced him, another great vocalist. They're super band.
Well, I mean, I remember, and who remembers back in the day when you heard from a friend, hey, did you hear, when they came out with the EP? And the first time, I remember the kid's house I was in, we cut school, smoked 2 bowls, and he was like, oh, you guys got to hear this. And he put on the EP. And whew, it was, Lady Wore Black, Queen of the Reich, I forget the other 2 songs. It was like amazing.
Yeah.
So I remember like that being an underground thing, and then just suddenly came out. And then when friggin', what was the first? What was I can't Fate? No. What the hell was the name of the first album? Warning. The Warning. Was it The Warning?
Something like that. No, the second album was Empire.
I think The Warning. Yeah, The Warning was their first studio release after the Black EP.
Yeah.
I thank you.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Excuse me. I thought it was very derivative of Gilbert Gottfried, who I love too. So
And you do have some of that inflection sometimes.
Sure.
And so, but yeah,
I'm not
like all
saying I
good
don't.
comedy,
I'm
a
not
little
saying I don't.
exaggerated. I am pretty animated, but I don't quite do that. But
You
again,
kind of do.
I do some of that, right? And so it's exaggerated. That's what makes it funny.
Caricature.
Yeah, that's what makes it funny.
My favorite part of that whole clip was Lori making sure, well, they're in the room, so it's okay. And it should always be okay.
Lori's a wonderful person. She's really concerned about offending people.
Yeah.
We don't worry so much about it. Allie wasn't born in the 70s. I'm going into my 2nd decade there. Child. Well, there you go. Very cool. Yeah, good band. And again, there's a lot of those guys that like Iron Maiden. I love a lot of their stuff. I don't love everything.
No.
But they had some good stuff. And again, there's I kind of break up some of those older school metal guys, Priest, Iron Maiden, those guys, and then some of the newer guys that came along. And you forget the name of all these guys, but I owned a lot of their albums. Chevelle and they're not exactly new.
Chevelle is
an
Quincy
Kane.
Inspiration band for
Quincy Kane.
Quincy Kane. That's one of his favorite bands.
Absolutely, and they're a great band. And
I really
totally
don't know
see
them.
it.
Yeah.
Well,
like
and
I've
you can
always
tell.
said, I know nothing about music in the 90s. I was very wasted. It's kind of, yeah. I remember the 80s, and then the 2000s, and I was in the family. The 90s, something happened. Something definitely happened then.
Yeah, and you don't know what it was.
No, not quite. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
God, the first two Old Mustard. I mean, the first two Maiden albums, were by far. Like Killers is my favorite album. One of my favorite albums of all time.
Oh, there you go.
But even though Killers is my favorite Iron Maiden album, there is no doubt after hearing The Number of the Beast that they could have never did that album with Paul Di'Anno. He was extremely limited. I like where he was limited, so it didn't bug me. But yeah, Rothschild is probably my favorite song for Maiden.
I agree with you. I mean, it changed when Dickinson got in the band. They were able to just do so much more. So, and yeah, I'm with you. I like
are you
Deftones.
talking about because when Queensryche played both Operation Mindcrime 1 and 2 live, I saw that, and like they had a big theatrical production with stage actors, and they played both albums back to back. Phenomenal show. That was a phenomenal show.
Very cool. Yeah, and again, I like a lot of different stuff, and I've been fortunate to see a lot of bands. You know, in the 80s, I was going to all the festival shows that had all the metal guys, and so I saw all the guys, Ozzy and Quiet Riot, and just all the guys of that era, Accept and Priest, of course.
Accept.
Yep. I'm drawing a blank on a bunch of them because let's review. We forget things, but
What
was good. I dug. That was a good period, but you know, some of that music stood up to the test of time.
Talus, Crocus.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, Crocus. I dug Crocus.
I really didn't like Crocus. But I loved Manowar, Talus.
Screaming in the Night. I mean, again, that's kind of that was kind of their only big hit, but it's a great song. And the video, go back and look up Crocus's Screaming in the Night video. It's so cheesy. I mean, it ripped off totally from the Conan the Barbarian movies and everything.
Yeah.
It's totally cheesy garbage, but that's what they did back then, and we were on board.
I mean, I thought that is where you got your character from Dark Age was from that video. Pendar,
Not saying I didn't.
If you saw it in the 80s, then you just saw the Operation Mindcrime concert. This happened in like 2005 to 2010. They reunited and they went on tour and just played the whole what do you call it?
Yeah, the
concept album, but both
they played it. Yeah, both albums, front to back.
Yeah.
Which is a very cool thing to do. I saw Kansas do that with both Left Overture and Point of No Return. They came out, they played an acoustic set, they played some of their new stuff, and then they played the album, start to finish. And it was awesome.
I saw
and I think it's really cool when bands do that.
And they did British Steel. It was like the 30th.
Can't go wrong there.
And they play the whole album front to back.
Yeah, see, I think that's a cool thing to do.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big time. And
I was never a Stones fan, Dog Pa. I liked them.
Yeah.
I was just never a fan of them.
Again, a very song-centric. I like some of their songs.
They're a little before my key time, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because they were big in the 60s and the 70s, and they're all right. I liked some of their songs, and then they came around to the 80s and they did Tattoo You, which was a pretty cool album, and I liked a lot of songs on that album. So you never know. Conan the Barbarian. Yep. Conan. What is best in life? to drive your enemies before you, to hear the lamentations of the women. Yeah, I've seen that movie a couple times. All right.
A cheese podcast. I would like that.
Cheese. Does it feature mozzarella?
Mozzarella. I tell you, I just bought this provolone. I bought, like, a little snack provolone and supersat, and the provolone was so fucking sharp. I was like all night going, oh my God, I can barely eat this cheese.
Really?
It's so sharp. Oh, it was delicious. It was delicious. It was really sharp, though.
Was it imported from Italy, or what was why was it so much sharper than normal provolone?
Of course it was imported from Italy.
Well, I mean, I'm asking a dumb question, but I mean, from what region, or why was it sharper than normal provolone?
It was, maybe it was aged a long time. It was really sharp, though.
Okay. Yes.
Compared to how many pieces of supersat I had to eat to balance it, that's how I can tell. It was like 4 or 5 pieces of supersat to 1 piece of cheese. Like, that's sharp cheese.
Okay, yeah, indeed. Well, and as we inevitably always do, we got to the food portion of our program where we're talking about chow a little bit.
Oh, and that's never by design.
No.
Just because
we just like to eat. Food is good, and we like it.
Apparently, Feisty's agreeing with something I said. Thank you. I have no idea what I said.
Yeah.
But I meant it.
That makes all of us. But Feisty was on board. Too funny.
Smoked provolone.
The chat for any pertinent.
You don't really need to smoke provolone. You could smoke Gouda, because it's not a very you don't need to smoke a cheese that's already very flavorful on it.
Yeah, smoking is great for things that are on the
Bland
that are
side.
a little blander side, that need just need a little more interest in them. Certain things.
Hey, Vero Boss.
Yeah, Vero Boss has joined us.
Parmigiano Reggiano.
Oh,
I actually, in my refrigerator, I have both Parmigiano Reggiano, Locatelli, and oh, good, what's the other one? I can't remember the other one. But I have 3 different graded cheeses. And my wife swears by Kraft. That's the kind of woman I married.
Oh.
So her and the kids eat their big thing of fucking Kraft Parmesan cheese, and I get cheeses from around the world.
Yeah, no, I get for the powdered Parmesan, it's imported from Italy. It's nice. And then I keep shredded Parmesan cheese always. I always have feta cheese on hand. And then I've got a block of just sharp, cheddar. And then I'll pick up something that looks good, depending on. But I cook with a lot of the cheeses, and they go in for feta's good because it's very assertive, so it's good to cook with. And I'll throw it on salad every once in a while.
So we have 3 different kinds of Italian, for pasta or soup or stuff like that. We have feta, a tin of gorgonzola, some swish.
Yeah.
I got some hunks of provolone. We have lots of cheeses.
Italian place. Yeah, you got to have lots of cheeses, right?
Yeah, not all Italian cheese. Tell you, my wife gets that. I think it's like a sharp Irish cheddar. It's really good. I forget what it is. It really has to get to room temperature for it to really come out. Oh, we have some blue cheese too, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Robin, how are you?
Yeah. Hey, good to see you, Robin. I'm not a huge blue cheese fan. It's aight.
I mean, it's good on what it's meant to be on.
Yeah.
Costco bags of Mexican blend. 15 pounds of avocados. Man, avocados don't actually last very long. So you gotta eat that shit
get
fast.
going. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I buy avocados 3 at a time, and I still don't always get them eaten before they go brown and crappy on me. Yeah.
Hey, ooh.
I love avocados, though.
Heather, I just made that's the other one, Pecorino Romano. Thank you. I just made an Alfredo. My kids fucking loved it, and it was both. It was a mix of Parmesan, Pecorino Romano. Yeah, and they really friggin' dug it. It was super heavy though. It was really decadent. But I make it the same way. 2 different kinds of cheese.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You know, so you would now be careful.
That's kind of funny
because you could end up the farmer's stepdaughter.
Yeah, we all know how that joke turns out.
And yeah, and the jokes write themselves from there. So you know, yeah, when he brings over the cow, you know, then you go, oh, this is getting serious. Yes, I love guacamole, and I make immodestly, I make really good guacamole.
Yeah, I don't have it a lot. Does he only grow? Is he exclusively a avocado farmer, or does he have other types of produce? Because maybe you could whisper in your mom's ear, "Hey, Ma, can you get me some? I could really go for some broccoli, Ma."
Well, no,
Ma,
like she
what do you
says,
got to do for cauliflower?
Yeah, bring the goat. You know.
Yeah. Heirloom tomatoes, Ma.
Yeah, what you have to do for it, Mom, that's your business.
You know. You really want a nice salad. Oh,
He's a hobby
farmer. That's cool.
Okay.
So that
Well,
means
that's
he
fun.
probably does have all kinds of weird things.
Yeah, and perhaps has a little bit of money because I'm going out to visit my real farmer friends, and it's a serious operation.
We are just totally analyzing your mother's relationship with her rich.
It's what we do. I mean, we psychoanalyzed.
He was probably an investment banker, cleared, sold the company for a few million. Now he's hobby farming and finding attractive women and winning them over with the tastiest produce. That sounds actually like a great life.
Yeah, it really does. So, yeah, wouldn't it be nice if you could do that, right?
I'm trying to figure that one out.
Yeah, well, Dogpaw has strongly held views on food. And,
yes, he does.
God bless you.
I've noticed that. I have noticed. Sheep teats.
Yeah, you know what? The jokes write themselves there. We don't even need to. Yeah. Anyway.
Anywho, it's almost wrap up time, Mr. Chris.
It's getting pretty close. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll
closing comments.
I am so happy to be done with this and to get back to my normal making some music, doing the shows, just being what I like to do and not having a deadline gun to my head for almost 3 weeks. So that's going to be good.
I have to answer Old Mustard's heaven and hell, without a doubt. Without a doubt, heaven and hell.
Yeah.
Although
both good.
Sign of the Southern Cross may be one of Sabbath's best songs, but I have to go with heaven and hell.
And that's not all bad.
Yeah, me and my dog have that same saying. I wouldn't mess with my dog.
No. No, why would you? puppy is big and dumb and happy.
Was it on Heaven and was that? Maybe that's why it's. I thought Sign of the Southern Cross was on Ma Rules. So then definitely.
No, he says if only it was on.
Oh
Heaven
yeah,
and Hell.
yeah, yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, because that song is terrific. It really bumps up that album, but top to bottom. And again, this is a dude who's not a huge Sabbath fan, but Heaven and Hell is just a kick-ass
It's
album.
a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, not just in terms of the music, but from the inaugural album after an iconic singer. You know, just like it's kind of funny that didn't Heaven and Hell and Back in Black come out at the same time? Like they were both like
Pretty close.
and
Within
Back
6
in
months.
Black is like a perfect friggin' album as well. And they were both with pretty much irreplaceable singers. You could not,
Yes.
the band could not go on without these. And
yet-
these things by far blew away anything they've done. And you can really say that about a number of the Beasts too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's funny how it changed the band dynamic, and but in a good way. Good band, and it got better by many measures. A little personnel change. I mean, again, some of the parts are greater than the individual pieces.
Yeah, I saw that. That was on Showtime. Dreamers Never Die. It was really good. Guy had it tough, man. I didn't realize how many bands he was actually fired from. Like Deep Purple, Sabbath, bands that were on a downward trajectory. He joined and they got very popular and then got shit canned.
Yeah. Yeah. After Dio was, he was I'll say this: he's a great vocalist. He was a little challenging to watch. Just, I don't know, visually, he was a little.
Well, he really loved what he was writing about,
Yes.
So yeah, it was a little hokey.
Yeah.
But so was metal at that time.
Well, that's just it. You could you could accuse all of them of being either a little too pretentious or a little too pretend occultish, or or
and he's
the guys that came right after that, the hair metal guys, were just total inane stuff. But we liked the sound of it, and it was like, oh, okay.
one of my favorite things is I listen to or read a lot of his lyrics, and I'm like, it sounds so good. I don't know if any of it makes any kind of sense. I don't know if there's any kind of central point, and the meanings of his songs are more inferred than understood. Which is kind of neat when you think about it.
Yeah, I'll say this before me. Metal's always been kind of hokey, but it goes through periods where it's even hokier, and I think there's some accuracy there. And I'm a big early Deep Purple fan. Just am. I love Space Truckin', and Highway Star is one of my favorite songs of all time. I just love that song. And then when they came out with the Perfect Strangers album with Coverdale singing, I love that album. Perfect Strangers, I thought, kicked ass. It was fun, and I think it holds up. And maybe I was going to do one of those songs on G-May's show.
I don't really think Kiss was all about the money. I mean, if you look at from their start, they made 3 friggin' albums in under 3 years. The band was on the verge of total collapse until they put out Alive, and they got hugely, so I think unfortunately Kiss became all about the money.
Yes.
But I really truly believe no band ever worked harder than Kiss to become famous.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
They've always been one of my favorite bands. They are the most I could barely I love listening to their music. I could barely get through one of their they're so immature. Like all their music is so damn immature. It's kind of, it's kind of hard to listen to it now, but yeah, man, I fucking loved Kiss when I was growing up. Oh my God, there was nothing.
I really came to honestly appreciate them later. They were one of those bands that, all my buddies in junior high were like, "Oh, Kiss rocks" and everything. I'm like, all right. And then when I got into college and metal had that kind of early 80s resurgence in some ways, and I really started to appreciate how hard Kiss worked. And of course, they were really on the downhill at that period of time, but that's where it caused me to look back and go,
well,
these guys had some things going for them.
There are few bands that have had many successful careers being the same band.
Yes.
Aerosmith, Kiss, they
AC/DC.
They have AC/DC's pretty much always been AC/DC.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, AC/DC in the height of hair metal was still
AC/DC. Yeah.
Kiss, no. Aerosmith, no. They became completely different bands.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess I was just thinking of them being together with relatively the same members, and but yeah, Aerosmith definitely got a little commercial for a period of time, and certainly Kiss tried. I mean, they're hiring songwriters left and side.
I mean, and like that whole period, like Paul Stanley really just completely was the force behind keeping the band together.
Well, right, because Gene had checked out. Yeah, he was dating Cher.
And I cannot stand that Kiss, even though Paul Stanley is my favorite member of the band.
Oh yeah,
I really can't stand all the.
So you're not giving "Lick It Up" a spin every weekend?
Not every weekend. Not Lick It Up though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, that album had two. Lick It Up and Tears Are Falling. My band actually covered Tears Are Falling, and now I look at that, and that was freaking embarrassing.
The funny thing about that is, Vinnie Vincent is actually credited with writing most of Kiss's big hits, and he was like he wrote most of the songs on Lick It Up and Creatures of the Night.
Yep. Yeah, and he was a contract player. I mean, he was in the band, but I mean, he was just a hired gun.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the music industry was back in the day, and we don't miss it, right? In some ways, I miss a lot of those bands, but the music industry was.
Well,
corrupted.
is it them you miss, or you miss who you were at the time? I guess.
Well, I think a lot of
that's the thing.
I continue to listen to music, and I listen to, modern contemporary music, and bluntly, there's very little of it that I find holds up versus, stuff from earlier years. That's my personal opinion, and it's probably an old man get off my lawn take, but that is my take. I do not find the music as good. I don't find the melodies as good. The songs don't stick with me. They don't have those earworms that the other songs did.
I actually believe you're not supposed to, because popular music isn't meant for us. I think it's meant for a group of people we know nothing about. No, like that is why a lot of us hate new music, because we can no longer relate to it. It's simple as that. It's beyond us.
That's legit.
Where we are, And if our kids listen to the music we love, they'll be like, this is so boring,
Well, yeah, I guess. Who knows? And good for you. I limit my hate, but we certainly things that we don't love. How about that?
Yeah, Pendar's right. Music has been dumbed down. It's been it's like music has become its own algorithm. It's meant to appeal to the vastest audience it can, and It does, but there are so many fringes of people that it just drops them off, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I think we miss about the music we grew up with, because back then bands were allowed to mature and cultivate, and they had like almost like a breeding ground for music. Like, you brought bands up.
Oh yeah, it was literally the old school apprenticeship, like the
Yes.
trades did.
Exactly. So
You'd
you
bring them
had-
on, put them on tour
Right.
with more experienced bands, and they get to learn the ropes. And that just doesn't exist.
Yes, so basically, like, you had so many different little things. It's why we like the indie music scene now, because it's so varied.
Yeah.
You can literally, over the course of the people in this room, you can hear every type of music being performed, you know. And I think we all I liked, you know, I'm feeling this way, I'm going to listen to Black Sabbath. You know
You're
what?
right.
I'm feeling this way, I'm putting on Asia from Steely Dan. You know, and now everything's in such a small window, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Will's hitting it right. Hey, good to see you, Will.
Hey,
D.
what's going on, Will?
Out
Look,
of-
Will, I was telling him I bought this shirt thinking of you. Say no to pot.
Yeah, it was good. He saw that in the shop and said, "I thought of you."
I did. I actually did. I didn't say it out loud. Like, I don't
You
tell
should have, and
anyone.
mess with the clerk. Oh man, this
The Art of
reminds me of the
Floundering.
Outer of Floundering podcast. I must have that shirt, and they'd go,
Get floundering.
"Yeah, drugs, man." Your kid is special, and that's cool. I mean, my kid is the same way, musician. Although I did call him on one thing, because he got on the AI music thing and got screwed around with it. He said, "Man, this is pretty cool," and I said, "Boyo, okay, yeah, you created a couple things there. Now you're a drummer. Really listen to it." And he did, and he came back and he said, "Oh, you know what? Now I'm hearing it. That, you know, AI is just basically yanking all the music that exists and just kind of throwing it in a blender and throwing something out there. It's all done by formula." And that's one of the reasons why I personally believe that modern music is not as good, because it's so formalized. You're on the grid. I mean,
Well,
John Bonham wasn't on the grid, boys and girls. He was just playing.
Yeah, so my feeling is I 100% agree with you in what you're saying. But I think the reason for that is because music is now made to market, to appeal, rather than because it's what the artist had. This is what I have to do, kind of thing. I like Michael's songs because he's not trying to make music that people will like. You just have to choose to like what he does or not.
Yeah, that's what this is what I do. Yeah.
And now music is specifically made to, when you're trying to make something to be popular, something is going to be lost in the translation, and AI is just the next, the next stage of let's take all those four chord songs we've been making hit after hit after hit in the pop music and let a computer just do it.
Yeah.
That's all it's doing.
Right. And it just, like, it's sterile and lifeless because of that. I think that's why we gravitate towards the older stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's a little rawness, a little randomness to it.
A little bit of randomness, and it's not so perfect. And I think the other big thing that especially when it comes to lyrics, which I care very much about what songs say. AI cannot generate lyrics you can feel something about, because it can't fucking feel.
No.
You just can't. And it's obvious. You can read something and go, this is so generic, because there's nothing it's not coming from a person's heart. Therefore, it's, I mean, I feel that way anyway. I've listened to some of the, and I wrote a song, and I didn't have anywhere to go, so I typed everything I thought into like an AI song generator, and it spit me out and I stole some things that I would later expand on, but overall my feeling was like, this is just so inhuman that I could never really get behind it. So
I was looking for something to, because our friend Nathan from Crimson Crux sent me an AI country generated song, and I laughed my ass off because it's exactly what you're saying there, but it's on Instagram, which is a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do Insta, so I'm not going to play it. So anyway, but totally what you're saying there. And, but it is what it is. The internet, I said this when the internet started first coming out, and nothing's changed. The internet makes everything a commodity. Airline tickets, used to be something. Well, they're not. They're just a commodity, and you go on Priceline, you get the cheapest thing. And it's made music a commodity. The friggin' president of Spotify just said, well, there's not that much effort and cost involved to making music, because that's the mindset of these people.
I got to be honest, and
irritating.
with a lot of us here, people who put your music on Spotify is like, they're the bastards of the music, that like they treat you, like I do have a couple, because I didn't realize it at the time, but only a couple.
That's it.
And then I was like, they're completely wrong. And yet most of us use that as a measure of our own success, I guess, in what we do. Hey, I got blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
As usual, empirism brings some nuance and some intelligence to this
100%.
conversation. That's a great
I have
point.
used AI because I felt I don't want to have to overly work, and I used it just to nudge me in the right direction, and it did. And then I rewrote everything to fit. But it's definitely not. It's definitely missing the human element.
If you're using drums in, say, GarageBand or Logic and some others too, well, at that core, that's basic AI. That's what that's doing. And,
yes,
it's a tool, and, you're still driving it. And in that application, okay, I use AI to create art, for covers and funny things that I'm doing. It's great for that, because it's good in a bad kind of way, and it's exactly what I'm looking for. Now, eventually it'll get good at being good, but now it's not, and it serves my purpose for comedy.
Well, I mean, the problem is AI is specifically designed for people who don't know how to do something, can now do something they never could do, and who it hurts other people who actually can do it.
Yes, can do it, yeah.
Because people who have no business creating art are now going, hey, look what I made. And there's someone who's been working hours and hours and hours trying to paint something, and now they have to prove why mine is, and it's
absolutely,
it's a battle they can't fucking win,
Well,
so that's
you look
why
through history, technology has always replaced artists, displaced them to an extent. And then things, it is what it is, and we don't love it.
It is what it is. And look, we're all going out buying records again because we've. You know what? I miss the personal feeling of vinyl.
Absolutely,
I miss having a relationship with the person who made the music. I want to listen to it in the order they think it should be heard in.
That right there. The order that an album is arranged.
It's the most important thing.
It used to drive me nuts when my kids, they would put like their iPods on shuffle, and they bought all these albums, but they would shuffle the songs around. It's like, no. The artist spent hours figuring out this song follows this song and segues into this song. you can't just randomize that. And I must say, my oldest eventually figured it out. He's a huge vinyl collector now and is really into it. But, you know, he finally grew up and figured it out.
We've been, but like, it's kind of funny, like rebuying. Like, I just bought the first Boston album, but you know, but I'm like, I'm only gonna buy like they have to be near perfect albums. You know, I won't buy anything if I ever have to lift the needle. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that because that really makes listening to an album pretty bad.
Yeah.
But,
and look, E-Urban's not all about jokes. That's a great comment, and you're exactly right. But, you know, and that's exactly where I was going with my point. The artists evolved themselves based on the technology, and, you know, we had the whole record industry, and we had all this great music. Well, going to evolve a little bit more, and we'll have to figure out a way to live with that and bring the human element, bring the creativity, and just use the tools for what they are. So the conversation in the chat tonight, especially this last hour, has been
a lot of people
kicking
feeling
ass.
Yeah. You know, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's, you know, it sucks. It sucks, all of us in our 50s and 60s and 40s even, to see how we will be replaced. And that's all it, you know, we're feeling it because we're the ones being cut out of the next kind of chapter, and nobody fucking wants that. So,
Right.
you know, but it's, you know, that's what it's gonna be, you know.
Yeah, well, technology displaces. It just does.
Yeah.
And, you know, but it develops new things, you know. I mean, cars displaced buggy whip makers and carriage makers and everything, but then you had the whole auto industry, and, you know, then that'll get displaced by flying cars.
You know, there could be there
Right?
could be an argument, and as a musician, I can easily behind it that, you know, it's just like regular society. You have the 1% in the world, and then you have the 1% of performers and the 1% of athletes. You know, it's like, do these people really need to make this much exorbitant amount because they do the same thing that this band does, and they get nothing, you know? But the problem is, like, with all this stuff, has just made it easier, you know, to have a lot more bands producing music that they make no money from, you know. So it actually makes it harder in the end for the people trying to do it by doing it, you know. I don't know. That's why you just do it if you have fun doing it. If you don't,
Yeah,
you know.
and I'm having a hoot, and I know Dom does too. Fun for us to be here. It's fun to hang out. And, you know, we got
like
a good discovery.
we were originally talking with Mike. I was like, well, if you really want to make music a business, get off YouTube. You got to start playing places, you know. And he's finally at that stage where he's playing out all the time. And if that's what you want to do, that's what you have to do.
Well, right.
I remember when I first came on YouTube, I came across a lot of people making music that really thought they could possibly be the next, like, star, you know. And
Yeah,
like,
that they're
you
gonna
know,
get
sure,
discovered.
Anybody could,
Maybe.
but if you actually believe it, you know, that's a little, I don't know, it's a little kind of narcissistic, I think.
Well, I would say, I mean, anyone who believes in their talent to that extent, God bless you. I think that's fantastic. You need that. But, you know, it always comes down to time and place and opportunity and a whole lot of other factors that aren't necessarily under your control.
Yeah, if you want to, like, you know, there's lots of people who make a very good living being on YouTube. You have to be a personality. You can't just be one thing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be exactly. Well, my wife and I were talking about that. There's people that make all this money, influencers. They're YouTube influencers. I don't get it, but somebody
you
gets
can't
it.
be influenced. That's like
yeah.
That's how I look at it. It was like the
that-
last thing I'm gonna do is take someone else's opinion. That's the last thing in the world I will ever do.
It's
Chris,
true.
you think that's great? I don't know.
Not
That's
not for me.
Yeah, like 100% turns me the wrong way.
Yeah, well,
Anytime anyone tells me what is, I'm automatically going to doubt it. Why are they trying to convince me? What do they got to gain by this? And my head just goes there. And it turns out, really, that's all an influencer is. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
They're being compensated for.
Oh, it's just another marketing. Yeah, they're getting
Yeah.
paid to wear clothes, and so and here's the website. Go buy this jacket. It just different form of marketing, like we were talking about earlier in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Yeah, again, there's being older. I like a lot of aspects of social media. Dom and I are friends because of social media.
True.
But there's other aspects of it that I'm not sure that I understand the appeal. But again, I'm an old guy and not for me to understand. Instagram, I don't get it at all. I have an Instagram account, but I've never used it.
I joined all the accounts in the beginning. And then not understanding what they were or what I wanted. I just did it because that's what everyone was doing. And I soon realized I do not want to have a relationship that limits me to this much room. I want to, that's why I still like YouTube, because I can actually talk to people. And I'm not even good in notice. I don't even go and chat much anymore. It's not enough for me. I need to have that face-to-face kind of connection, I guess,
No, that's legit.
Yeah,
this is an interesting point. MySpace was fantastic in a lot of respects, a pioneer. Of course, Facebook as a tool, an entity, is far superior, but it's far worse all at the same time. MySpace was a simpler, like the 50s. We look back on it with nostalgia. It wasn't all that great in a lot of ways, but we think it was because it was new and it first got us involved in social media. And but yeah, I got onto that to stalk my kids in high school to make sure that they weren't doing stupid stuff, and then went to Facebook. And of course, my youngest is still on Facebook, but it's totally marketing for his business. My oldest hasn't had a Facebook account in probably 10 years. I think he told me one time, Facebook is for old people.
It basically is. I only have it because it's not worth the effort making something else.
Yeah, exactly. Now there's a laziness to it, and I totally get that. I mean,
just like when I was talking about Rumbles, this new. I'm like, Can I really? How much time in my life do I have
dip
to
my toe over
spend
there? But it's
doing
a
this
different animal.
I feel lucky. You've become one of my best friends. Hang out with Michael.
Yeah,
that's enough. I like knowing other people, and hopefully I'll meet other people. But really, I'm like, that's good for me. 2 other people. That's pretty much how my life's always been. I had 2 or 3 really good friends, and then a bunch of people I kind of knew. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm not trying to do anything else anymore,
Yeah. It's a good point, Dog Paw. I know a lot of guys were on here, and again, I was dipping my toe back in the day, but it's totally the pandemic that brought me to all of this. Absolutely 100%. Because it took the music venue that I was involved in, playing in church, and pulled me out of that, and I had no place to go. So I came here. You always find a home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and exactly your point. Rumble's okay for what it is. If I was just starting today and I got on Rumble, I'm sure I would be very happy with it. But I'd been on YouTube. I'd had a YouTube channel for 8 or 9 years before I actually started really doing this and putting content on it. So I'd been around.
Yeah,
it's like everything else. I know people think that. I spend enough time on Rumble to go, that's some true.
I don't think Rumble's the character of people is any different than on YouTube.
No, I can assure you it isn't. I get stuff on YouTube that I'm like, really? You guys? Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of crazies everywhere.
I think the best thing is what Pendar said. You can start it all over again for what?
Yeah, that's the thing.
For what?
Yeah.
And if there is a reason to do it, like, listen, I am never trying to say that what I do on YouTube is what other people. And if anyone is actually trying to make a career out of live streaming, then you should be on every friggin' thing all the time.
Go where you think your audience is, and that's the thing.
If you're not trying, then who the fuck cares? Just do what makes you happy, kind of thing, you know.
And that's my limited experience on Rumble tells me that you're looking for an audience, and the music community over there does not seem as vibrant. Again, there is a lot of political stuff over there. There's also a lot of how to trades people kind of stuff over there, and just for us as musicians, there's probably an audience there, but I haven't figured out exactly where they are.
And you still have to build an audience,
and then you got to do that part too.
And think about it this way: look, we have 20 people here right now.
Yeah.
And again, I wouldn't call it an audience. I'd call it a bunch of people like that either know us or have nowhere else to go. So they're our friends or just, associates. And YouTube has to be how many times bigger than Rumble? 100 to people-wise. So if it took me and Chris this long to get 20 people, how long is it going to take on Rumble, to get
my family's long-lived, but I don't know how, if it's that long-lived, Yeah. Again, it's just like everything else, it's a numbers game. And Rumble's newer, their numbers are lower. I don't know how much lower, but
I will say
lower.
This, though. If I go on YouTube, I would need to search to find the kind of political stuff I don't agree with that is automatically in my face on Rumble. I go on and I'm immediately, this is why I don't follow politics at all.
Well, and I think
people,
as I understand it, Rumble kind of got its start was like, look, we're just going to let people do what they want. We're not going to censor anybody. Mm-hmm. And so people who felt like that they weren't getting a fair shake on YouTube or they were buried or whatever probably gravitated over there. Again, whatever.
Well, most people that feel
planet.
They just want to be able to say what they want to say are people who nobody really wants to listen to, and generally speaking. Because that's not something most people would like. I don't particularly give
who
wants to hear what I have to say or not.
If you have a good message, chances are it'll find an audience.
Yeah.
So there. And as someone who does history, because it's part of my job, you're right. And at the same time, the divisions and the political vitriol ain't got nothing on the 1880s. I mean, it's always been this way. The difference, Robin, in my opinion, is access. Because of the internet and because of the electronic age, your access to all of this stuff is so much more instantaneous, and there's so much, it's such broadness. People haven't changed. divisions haven't changed, tribalism, and I know that there's some that don't agree with me on this. Hey, we're tribal people. We just are. We've been that way since we were living in caves. So none of that has changed. It's just your ability to access it is
Personally,
changed.
it's my feeling anyone who tries to tell you it isn't that way are the ones lying, are the ones hiding behind something.
Yeah, or they're not.
We are, well, we're a very divided people, but that's what makes people good. Pockets of different kind of people interacting is so much better than a big homogenized pot where everyone's point gets kind of melted away into this kind of pukey gray
Bland,
color.
yeah,
So,
nothingness, yeah.
yeah.
Indeed.
It's not always a good thing because certain pockets certain tribes don't want different kind mingling with them, but that's really the way the world has always been.
And on some levels, that's not going to change. We'll always find something to divide us and separate us. Could be politics, could be religion, could be geographic. It could be anything.
Sexual orientation, any example.
Could be
whatever's the
anything.
thing of the week. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't get, and why I think Dom and I both have probably pretty strong opinions on various things. We don't particularly talk about it between ourselves because it doesn't matter. Our friendship has nothing to do with that. And why we don't go over that kind of stuff on the shows, or if I come to anybody else's show, I'm there to play music. That's my job. And I view it that way. So you get, either musician entertainer Chris or hopefully funny comedian Chris. And that's it. And whatever else I think about anything else, who the hell cares? Starting with you guys. And I'm not going to foist that on you. So there. Take that.
Yep. Well, I've always, even though I'm casting a lot of my opinions this evening, the only opinion I generally want to hear less than my own is someone else's.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Hey, you ain't wrong. If I don't care about what I think, I damn sure don't care about what other people think.
I'm not saying other people are right or wrong. It's just it's like, hey man, this is my world, and that's all I got to worry about right now. I ain't got time for all this.
No. Some people are very energized by that. God bless them.
Right? Talk about flip flopping. I just said one thing and then I completely went against myself.
Well,
that's what I do.
Yeah, that's it. Dom is, and Feisty wins the "Who's Paying Attention to What Dom's Actually Saying" award, and Feisty's like, now wait a minute, didn't you just say?
Yeah. I have to tell you, one of the things that you gave me a thrill. I am opinionated, and I can converse. I used to, and it would drive people crazy. Whatever anyone was talking about, I would just go in there and I am the voice of dissension, and I would just argue anything. Whether I believed it, and then some of my friends, wait a second, we were at that party last week, and you said the complete opposite. They're like, don't listen to anything they say. I am only trying to entertain myself, and people are better when there is some kind of conflict. It makes people think.
Absolutely.
So I often just do that.
Well,
just to amuse myself, kind of thing.
I mean, back in the day, that's debate 101. You don't have to believe in a position, but pick the position, defend it.
Well, that was something they taught you.
Understand the positions enough to talk about either side of it.
In debate club, you had to. You had to take opposite sides. I wasn't in the debate club, but we smoked pot with kids who were, and we would all meet, and we would have a debate club in the woods, and just argue points with each other. So
No, I remember I had a couple of buddies in college, and we were sitting around at a party one time, and one of them looked over. These guys were poli-sci majors, and they said, "Why are you not a poli-sci major?" And I said, "Because I want to actually have a job when I get out of college." And they both went, "Ouch!" But but we got talking about it, and they said, "You know all of this stuff. We just thought you were kind of just a long-haired rock star guy, and but you can talk about all these issues." And I said, "Well, I'm intellectually curious about everything. I want to know how stuff works. I want to understand why people think that the way they do. Whether I agree with it or not, immaterial. I just want to know what the thinking is."
Feisty, last year, 100%. I used to be out on my hands and knees picking clover before it infested my beautiful suburban lawn. Then I adopted a fucking 95-pound dog that every step he takes, just grass starts flying around, and I'm totally giving it up. My backyard now looks like a minefield filled with bare spots and dog shit, and I have no idea what to do. He's a friggin' monster. Love him. He's just a monster. It's like I should have just bought a horse.
Yeah, well, when we had, all the cats and everything, and we don't believe in declawing cats, we had shredded furniture because, even though we would buy very expensive scratching posts, cats are sometimes like, scratching post is nice. Oh, leather sofa, even nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you do? Eventually the cats went away, and we got cats that didn't tear up the sofa, and we replaced it. So that's what happens.
Yeah, it doesn't work out too bad, Dog Pa, because, I still have 2 kids and I can make them go outside and clean up the dog poop.
It's, hey, got to learn to work for, a living.
Mm-hmm.
That's just good parenting. That's why you used to have kids back in the day to do chores.
Maybe, DJ, maybe.
Yeah. Well, get those tower sissel stands, Feisty, because most cats prefer those to tearing up your furniture. That our furniture is in much better shape since we started buying better scratching posts. Yeah. Yeah, well, cats are cats, Our cat is not allowed on the dinner table, which is why we don't see a cat on our dinner table every fucking night, because he's not allowed up there, and he knows he's not allowed up there, but then he gets reminded that he's not allowed up there, and then he forgets like 3 minutes later because he's a cat.
That was us with the couch.
Maybe, but Cougar's got really big paws, just and if they hook your sofa, your sofa's done. All right, well,
yeah, it's a half hour late now. I'm gonna turn it into a pumpkin.
Oh, and I hate that. So we're gonna go out with a newer Scars and Shadows song. This one personally is one of my favorites because she's very evocative, and she processes her emotions and things she's dealing with in her songs. And, she was very open. When you see this song, go to the link and read the description there, because she's very describes the situation she was in and how it affected her and how it's affected her music. It's exactly what we love about an artist, getting to know them on that level through their music. So I am a huge fan of this particular song. And if you guys haven't heard it, you're going to love it. And if you have heard it, you're going to remember why you love it. But this is Scars and Shadows, and we're going to say goodnight while we listen to Pretty Little Things.
Good night, folks.
Water weighs you down. You're so scared that you might drown. You cry and let it out, 'cause it's all those pretty little things, and all those crazy dreams. And I can hear you scream out loud, can try to hide somehow, find some place safe before you fall down, can try to love yourself now, 'cause it's all those pretty little things, and all those crazy dreams. And I can hear you scream out loud. You spread out on the ground, laughing at yourself out loud. And the words, they just don't come out, 'cause it's all those pretty little things, and all those crazy dreams. I can hear you scream out loud. The water weighs you down. Silence wears a frown. You try hanging upside down, 'cause it's all those pretty little things, and all those crazy dreams. And I can hear you scream out loud, out loud, out loud, out loud. I can hear you screaming, hear you screaming, 'cause it's all those pretty little things.